Okay, hi guys, I think I'm live now. Do let me know if everything is good. Okay, yeah, I think I'm live now. Okay, guys, I'll tell you one thing. Today we'll be solving four sets. I would say all four sets are very interesting and they're definitely cat level. So I think that is one advantage that you will have. Before we start the session, I have two requests for you. The first request is please like the stream. When you like the stream, the next stream is promoted to more students, and if more students join us, we'll be incentivized to conduct these kind of streams more regularly. Normally also we'll do these kind of streams every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. The last two times we have done an LRDI stream, that is last week also we did an LRDI stream. This week also we are doing an LRDI stream. Next week probably we'll do a quant stream or a verbal stream. Any stream that you want, please do ask in the comments, we'll look at it. The first request I have is please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 100 plus likes before the stream ends. The second one is please subscribe to our channel. We put a lot of effort to give you very good content. So if you subscribe to this YouTube channel, it will motivate us to do these kind of things more regularly. Also, having more subscribers will let us know what the students want better. So whatever we are going to upload will be even better if we have more subscribers, because we'll get more information about the recommendations of students. So these are the two requests I have. Please do like the stream and please do subscribe to Cracku. I'll be starting the first set very shortly. So normally how it works in our streams is we first load the set. We'll give you around 10 minutes to solve it. And after that, I'll solve the set. That is basically the plan I want to follow even for this particular set. Good afternoon to everyone. Somebody is saying voice is low. Okay, cool. I'll try to talk louder. uh, Other than that, I can't say if it is audible or not. But if you are really facing an issue, please do let me know. I'll try to fix it. Okay, guys, this is the stream. We'll be having four sets. Let us get started. So basically, this side you will have the instructions. I will take it up slightly once you read this. Basically, there is a grid like this. There are three columns, C1, C2, C3, and there are four rows, R1, R2, R3, and R4. Just go through this, and once you go through it, I will take this up and I'll give you some time after it. Again, if you want these instructions, because this is a YouTube stream, you can actually just slightly go back. Once you go back, you will get the instructions. So I'm going to lift it up. If you want to read these instructions, like I told you, just go back in the stream, pause the screen and read the instructions. That should work fine. And after it, there is this grid. We have three lines. This is the first column C1, second column C2, third column C3. We have R1, R2, R3, and R4. So this is the first set of instructions. Like I said, if you want these instructions, go back into the stream, pause it and read it. Afterwards, it is this. This is a slightly long set with respect to the instructions. These are the instructions. Okay, there are 6 instructions. So again, I'm going to put the first 4 instructions. Again, read the 4 instructions. After a minute or so, I will lift it up so that you can see the remaining 2 instructions. If you are missing any one of them, you can just go back in the stream and you can pause the stream and you can read the instructions. Hi Nishant, how are you? Hi Samad, good afternoon to you. Okay, I hope you read the 4 instructions. I'll be lifting it. This is the 5th and the 6th. These are the 6 instructions that are there. Again, like I said, if you want either the first set of instructions or the first 4 instructions, you can just go back in the stream and try to read them. Once this is done, I will go to the other side and then you can see the questions. Okay. This side you have the first 2 questions. After some time, I will lift it so that you can see the remaining two questions also. Okay, I'm going to now lift this so that you can see the remaining two questions. This is question 3 and this is question 4. Total, there are 4 questions. Yeah, there are only 4 questions. So this is question 3 and question 4. If you want the first two questions, you have to just go back slightly in the stream. Then you can see question 1 and question 2. आगे से हटो, अरे मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना. You can just go back in the stream and मैं कहाँ जाऊँगा? ठीक है, I'll maybe go here. Okay. Okay, I'll again try to show the first two questions here. These are the first two questions. This is question 1 and question 2. So there are 4 questions and this is the information that is given. I'll again go back so that this is the first set of instructions. This is the grid. And after that, there are 6 clues that are given. Someone is saying that if someone is starting from today, what should be done? From June, what should he do? I would say first start off by taking a free mock. We have, I would say start off by taking a free mock. We have 3 free cat mocks. All of them are in the latest pattern. Definitely do check out the free mocks that Cracku is providing. You have to just Google search Cracku cat free mocks and then you will get that page where you can go and take those free mocks. When you take a free mock and when you analyze your performance, you'll get an understanding of what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. You'll get a good understanding of where you stand. That I think should be the first step. The second step is going through previous year's papers. At least try to see some of the questions in CAT 2025 and CAT 2024 and then try to make an assessment of how to go further. These two I would say are the first steps. After that, I want you to keep thinking about what are the sections that you are doing well, what are the sections that you are not doing well. If you're interested, you can enroll to some online course and then follow whatever is being taught in the course so that you can prepare with more efficiency. This I would say should be your steps. Prince Kumar is saying he gave his academic profile. I don't know to start evaluation of academic profile because once I start evaluating the academic profiles, there'll be a lot of questions only on the profile reviews and then we will not be able to take any other questions. If you're looking to evaluate your profile, we have an excellent util. We have 2 excellent utils. One is the Cracku profile evaluator where you enter your profile details. We will analyze the profile and we will let you know what are the percentages that are needed. Another thing is I am call predictor. You have to just enter your details, your 10 score, your 12 score, and your category, your academic diversity points, all of these things. And we have done a lot of research. We will provide the percentiles that you would need to get a shortlist from the top institutes. Both of these utils I think are very, very useful. You can just check it out. If you want the IIM call predictor, you have to just Google search Cracku IIM call predictor. You'll get that link where you can enter the data. Okay, after this, I'm going to show the first 4. I think these are the first 3 points. Here I'm going to show question 3 and question. Okay, guys, last 5 minutes, try to solve it. Aditya said, sir, I gave Cracku sectionals LRDI today. I was able to solve 2 sets. However, I could solve only one under the time limit and the other one took around 17 minutes more. I think, Aditya, one thing you have to understand is anything, either quant or LRDI, for you to increase the speed, you'll have to solve a lot of questions. To increase speed in LRDI, you have to first recognize the kind of set it is. You should have an understanding of how to represent the data. Now, understanding that takes time. It is not something that you will be able to get better at very quickly. So the only way to improve your speed is by solving a lot of sets. I would say there are two resources which will help you quite a lot in solving a lot of LRDI sets. One is the CAT previous year's papers. One of the best resource which is completely freely available to practice LRDIs is the previous year's papers. So try to solve LRDIs from the CAT previous papers. You can find the CAT previous papers on many websites. Even on Cracku, you can find the PDF of all the CAT previous year's papers. You have to just Google search Cracku CAT previous papers, and then you will get a link where you can download the PDFs of all the CAT previous year's papers. Download those PDFs and try to solve the LRDIs with ample amount of time. Don't worry about the time, just try to solve it on your own. Put a lot of effort in it. Then you'll realize that when you're encountering a new LRDI set, which is roughly of the same pattern, you will be able to handle it better. So that is the first resource, which is the CAT previous year's papers. The second, which is again very well known, is the Cracku CAT daily targets. Cracku daily targets are taken by thousands of students. Every day you get one LRDI set, one RC set, and 5 questions in quant. They're taken by thousands of students, and especially the LRDI will help you practice different types of LRDIs every single day. So it is very, very useful. Definitely do check it out also. Okay, Sujay, I'm not going to answer that, man. If you're spamming, I'm not going to answer. Okay, guys, last 1 minute. After that, I'll start answering the question. Okay, Udan Gyan talks. I'm a non-engineer, BA 2 years. I am CAT preparation starting. Okay, I didn't understand what you are asking. Can you please ask again, Udan? Udan. Okay, guys, last 30 seconds. Try to solve it. Okay, time is up, guys. Let us solve this question. So let us see what exactly is given to us. We'll come to the questions later. So what is basically given to us is a grid which contains 3 columns, C1, C2, and C3. And we have 4 rows, R1, R2, R3, and R4. And we have to put 5 banks, A, B, C, D, such that none of them is a neighbor of the others. So let us first draw this columns. So let us assume that this is C1, this is C2, and this is C3. Then let us draw 4 rows. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3, and this is R4. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3, this is R4. Then we are told that there are a group of 4 thieves, PQRS. There are 5 banks, okay, and divided the total amount stolen equally amongst themselves. The following is known regarding the location of the banks and the amount stolen from the banks. Okay, the amount stolen from each bank is unique and falls strictly between 30 lakhs and 50 lakhs. Both of them are not included. For 2 banks, the amount stolen is a multiple of 5. If you're looking at a multiple of 5, what are the multiples of 5 between 30 and 50? When you're not including 30 and 50, we have 35, we have 40, and we have 45. These are the 3 multiples of 5. And the remaining 3, it is a multiple of 4. What are the multiples of 4? Multiples of 4 are 32, 36, 40, 44, and 48. These are the multiples of 4. Only bank C is located on C2. So in C2, here we have bank C. Thief S received a total of 48 lakhs. Now, what do we know about the amounts received by the 4 thieves? If you read this, what is given is that they divided the amount stolen equally amongst themselves. So if one of the thieves received 48 lakhs, what is the total amount that has to be distributed? If S is 48, all the thieves received 48. That is P, Q, and R, they also received 48. Or the total money that is stolen is 48 into 4. And what is 48 into 4? It is 192. This is what we know. Now this money is stolen from the banks. So the amount of money with A plus B plus C plus D plus E is equal to 192. That is, the total amount of money stolen from the 5 banks is 192. We have some information about the money stolen. 2 of them are between 35, 40 and 45. That is given to us. The remaining 3 are between 32, 36, 40, 44 and 48. Now one thing you should remember is the total money is 192, which is an even number. Now any sum of these numbers is also even, because all of them are actually multiples of 4 and all of them will be even. So the sum of any one of them is even. The sum of 2 of this, the sum of 3 of this has to equal 192. That is what is known to us. 192 is even. The sum of these 3 numbers is even. So basically the sum of 2 numbers over here also has to be even. You cannot have an odd number over here. The sum cannot be odd. Now 35 plus 40 is odd. 40 plus 45 is odd. The only possibility where you can add 2 of them and the number that is coming, the sum that is coming is even, is if the 2 numbers are 35 and 45. So the 2 multiples of 5 have to be 35 and 45. And what do they add up to? They add up to 35 plus 45, which is 80. The total of the 5 numbers has to be 192. The sum of 2 of them is 80. So the sum of these 3 numbers have to add up to 192 minus 80, which is 112. Basically, the sum of these 2 numbers has to be 80. The sum of these 3 numbers has to be 112, so that the total is 192. How can we find out 3 numbers out of 32, 36, 40, 44 and 48 which add up to 112? For these kind of questions, what I do is, I first add up the sum of all 5 of them. What is 32 plus 36 plus 40 plus 44 plus 48? 32 plus 48 is 80. 36 plus 44 is 80 plus 40. So this is equal to 200. Now the sum of 5 of them is 200. 3 of them have to be selected from this 5 such that the sum has to be equal to 112. Or I have to remove 2 numbers from this 5 whose sum is equal to 200 minus 112, which is equal to 88. So if I'm able to remove two numbers from this 5 whose sum is equal to 88, the sum of the remaining three numbers will be equal to 112. Now the only two numbers from this whose sum will be equal to 88 is if those two numbers are 40 and 48. Say if one of the number that has to be removed is 32. The second number that should be removed has to be, because the total has to be 88. If one of the number being removed is 32, the other number has to be 56, because I want the sum to be 88. So that is not possible. So one of the numbers that should be removed is not 32. If say one of the number that has to be removed is 36, the other number has to be 52, because 36 plus 52 is 88. But 56 is not present over here. So the number that has to be removed is also not 36. If one of the number removed is 40, 40 plus 48 is 88. So that is working out fine. 44 would mean that another number also has to be 44 for the sum to be equal to 88. That is not happening. So the only possibility of two numbers being removed over here whose sum is equal to 88 is if they are 40 and 48. Or basically what we are saying is the three multiples of 4 which should be present are 32, 36 and 44. The two multiples of 5 that are present are 35 and 45. So at least right now we know what is the amount that is stolen from the 5 banks. What we don't know is which of the amount goes to which bank. That we don't know yet. But we know that the 5 amounts are 35, 45, 32, 36 and 44. The largest sum stolen is from bank D. So now we know that, for example, D is the largest. So D is 45. This is known because amongst the 5 numbers, the largest is 45, which is located on R4. So this would imply that D is located on R4. D is either over here or over here or over here. We don't know where it is. We are just told that D is on R4. The banks with the largest and the smallest amount stolen were in the same vertical road. So basically this D, which is 45, and what is the smallest? Smallest is 32. These two are in the same vertical road. Again, we know that the horizontal road D is on is R4. We just don't know whether it is C1 or C2 or C3. Bank A is located in the intersection of R1 and C1. Okay. So this is Bank A. Bank B is situated at the intersection of R2 and C3. This is Bank B. Now immediately you know that because we know that C has to be in column C2, C cannot come over here because that would be adjacent to A. C cannot come over here because that would be adjacent to B. So C has to either come over here or here. One of these two is possible. If C comes over here, if say this is E, the place of C, where will D come? We know that D has to be in R4. If this is C, D cannot come over here or there because both of them will be neighbors of C. So the only possibility for C is this has to be C. Now we have two banks left. We have D and D. D is definitely on R4. So either this is D or this is D. What about E? This cannot be E, this cannot be E, this cannot be E, this cannot be E, these two cannot be E, this cannot be E, because all of them are neighbors of one of the other banks, ABC. Therefore, the only possibility is that either this is D or this is E. Similarly, either this is D or this is E. These are the only two possibilities. The total amount stolen from all the banks of any given road is not a multiple of 10. That is, A plus D or A plus E is not a multiple of 10. D plus E is not a multiple of 10. And B plus D or B plus E is not a multiple of 10. So none of these roads are adding up to a multiple of 10. The bank from which the median amount was stolen is not located in the same road as the bank from which the highest amount was stolen. The highest amount was stolen from, this is D. Basically what we are being told is the bank which is in the same road as D does not have the median amount of money. What is the median? The minimum is 32. What is the median? Median amount is, the 5 amounts are 35, 45, 32, 36 and 44. 45 is highest, 32 is least. Then we have 44 and 35, median is 36. Median is 36. This is not in same road as D, which has the highest. This is basically the information that is given. One thing that is like slightly stopping us from filling up the table is we don't know whether D is present here or E is present here. So let us draw both the cases. Let us, for example, draw the first case. This is C1, C2 and C3. This is row 1, row 2, row 3 and row 4. This is C1, C2 and C3. This is R1, R2, R3 and R4. This is A, this is B, this is C. In the first case, we are assuming that this is D and this is E. In the second case, we'll assume that this is E and this is D. Both the cases, we'll look at it. We'll try to see if there is any contradiction. If there's a contradiction, we can remove that case. If this is D, we know that D is the highest, so D is 45. In the same column as the highest, E is the lowest, so this is 32. Then we know that the highest and the median are not in the same row. So E is not 36. So this would imply that there are only two values left. Either E is 35 or 44. But 45 plus 35 will be 80. It is a multiple of 10. We are told that no road has a total of 10, a multiple of 10. So E is not 35. The only possibility therefore is that E has to be 44. Now what is B? B can be either 36 or 35. But if this is 36, 44 plus 36 will come to equal how much? It will come to equal 80, which is again a multiple of 10. This row will have a value which is a multiple of 10. That is not allowed, so this is not 36. So this has to be 35. And therefore the only value remaining, 36, has to come to C. This is the first case. All the conditions are satisfied. There is no contradiction. Let us now look at the second case. In the second case, we have C1, C2, C3, row 1, row 2, row 3 and row 4. This is C1, C2, C3, R1, R2, R3 and R4. This is A, this is B, this is C. In the earlier case, D was here, now D will be here. And this will be E. D is the highest, so even in this case, D will be 45. In the same row as the highest, we have the lowest, so B will be 32. Now let us look at the total of E. E again will not be the median because highest and median are not in the same row. Median is 36. So E is not 36. Like in the earlier case, E cannot be 35 also because 45 plus 35 is 80, which is a multiple of 10. So the only possibility remaining is this has to be again equal to 44. Now we have only two values left. One is 36, the other is 35. A cannot be 36 because 36 plus 44 is 80, which is a multiple of 10. So this has to equal 35. And therefore the only remaining value, 36, has to go to C. Again, there is no contradiction, so this case also is possible. So essentially what we are saying is, this is the first case, this is the second case. Both the cases are possible. Let us now solve the questions. If 35 lakhs were stolen from Bank A, at which intersection is Bank E located? 35 lakhs are not over here. A, we have 32 lakhs stolen from Bank A. So 35 lakhs were stolen from Bank A from the second case. So we are talking about the second case. In this case, where is E located? E is located over here. This is the intersection of R4 and C1, which is option B. For how many banks can we uniquely determine the amount of money stolen from them? For A, in the first case it is 32, second case it is 35, so we can't determine it. For B, it is 35 and 32, again we can't uniquely determine it. For C, in the first case it is 36, second case also it is 36. So we can uniquely determine and say that the amount stolen from C is definitely equal to 36. For D, in both the cases it is 45. Here it is 45, here it is 45. So again we can uniquely say that the total amount stolen from D is 45. For E also, in both the cases it is 44. So again we can uniquely determine the amount of money stolen from E. So for C, D and E, we can uniquely determine the amount stolen. So it is 3 banks. What is the sum of all the possible amounts stolen from bank B? In the first case, the amount stolen is 35. In the second case, the total amount stolen is 32. The total of these two is 35 plus 32. This is equal to 67 lakhs, which is option D. What can be the minimum difference in the amount that can be stolen from the banks on road C3? On road C3, the difference is 44 minus 35. 44 minus 35 is 9. So in this case, the difference is 9. In this case, it is 45 minus 32. What is 45 minus 32? It is 13. So the minimum difference is either 9 or 13. Between both of them, the smaller amount is 9. So the answer is option B, which is 9 lakhs. Okay, guys. This was the first question. Like I told you earlier, I would have one request for you. Please do subscribe to this channel. I'll tell you what are the things that you actually receive by subscribing to this channel. The first thing is, like today, we'll be having live sessions every Saturday in the afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. As CAT comes closer, the duration of the live class will increase. So for that reason, please do subscribe. The second reason is free revision videos. We have an excellent playlist of revision videos for all the topics of quant, verbal, and LRDI. It is watched by lakhs of students. Definitely do check it out. And the third one is the free concept videos. We have covered a lot of formulas. There is one stream which we did last year. It had more than 70,000 views, which was a 7.5-hour stream. It was a very long stream where we went through all the important formulas for CAT. We will post the link for that stream in the chat box, or maybe it will be there in the description of this video. Definitely do check out that stream. It will be very, very useful for you. So for all of these reasons, I would request you to please do subscribe so that when we do these kind of streams, you will get a notification immediately. Okay, let me post the next set. This is the next set, guys. Yeah. I'll go this side. Try to read it over here. After that, I will take it up. Hi, they're saying, okay, sir, I'm a Cracku premium student. The study room has really helped me a lot. Now my only focus is to increase accuracy and solve as much as I can. Thanks so much. I would say that's an excellent attitude. The more you solve, the faster you get and the more accurate you get. Just focus on what you can do. Control the controllables. Whatever is in your hands, ensure that you are doing that. And study room is an excellent resource. Make the best use of it. Okay, Aditya, I know that you sent me a mail. I know I will get back to you. It is just that I was very busy for the last couple of days. We will set up a meet sometime next week and we'll have a call. Shubhang is saying, can we start the timer after showing all the questions, because otherwise we get less than 7 minutes to solve. Okay, I'll try to see. Basically, the problem with LRDI is I'm not able to show the entire question in one go. It would be great if I can show it, but unfortunately, I'm not figuring out how to show it properly. So I'll see. Also, we have more than 70 people who are watching the stream live. Please do like the stream, guys. I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream ends. We have only 60 likes right now. I want to get to at least 100 likes. And I'm going to take it up ahead. So basically, there is this. Okay. There is this 4x4 matrix. There is some information that is given. All the numbers in this 4x4 matrix, the 60 numbers, are from 1 to 16. That is the information that is given. Try to solve it. If you need the earlier part, you can just scroll back in the stream, pause it, and then you can watch it. These are the first two questions of the set. I'll show you the next two questions after some time. Gunik is saying, hello sir, I'm joining IIM Lucknow next week. Thanks a lot, Maruti Sir, for all your videos, helped me quite a lot. Okay, thanks a lot for the kind words. I'm so excited for you. Whenever somebody messages me these kind of things that they're joining an MBA institute, I go back in time 15, 20 years when I was looking forward to joining IIM Ahmedabad. Those were beautiful days where it was full of optimism. It was like a new challenge and just looking forward to entering the campus. Whenever somebody messages me like this, I immediately get back into that zone, which makes me feel very good. And I'm also very happy that whatever videos you put have helped you quite a lot. I'm extremely happy and very satisfied that whatever work we are doing is helping people. So again, thanks a lot for your kind words. And all the best. Study well in IIM Lucknow. Okay, I'll put the next two questions. This is 5 and 6. This is 7 and 8. Yeah, these are the four questions. Prasad is saying subscribe complete. Thanks a lot, Prasad. You might think it's a small thing, but it matters to us because a lot of people from a team are actually working on a Saturday. They're just motivated. They want to make a good stream. And as trivial as it might sound, when they see that the number of subscribers has increased because of the stream, they feel very motivated. And when they feel motivated, I also feel motivated. So every subscriber actually means a lot. So thanks a lot, Prasad. Okay, I'm going to put back the first two questions. Again, like I said, if you want any one of the other information, you can just, I'll again show this for a minute and after that I'll show the top. Sujay Chandra, cutoff artist, sir, cutoff artist. Okay, we'll just post the link for the cutoff artist. My team is going to post it. Sujay, we'll do it. Please don't spam so much. We'll post the link of a blog from Cracku which has the cutoff artist. Just give us a couple of minutes. Shreyansh Goyal is giving his profile. See, Shreyansh, if you are looking for profile evaluation, I would say please go to I am call predictor. Once you go to I am call predictor, you can enter your details. Then you'll get a understanding of what is the percentile that you'll need to get a call from all the top institutes. We have 5 minutes left, guys. Try to solve it. Sir, if one person got 100 percentile in CAT from your Cracku coaching, can you give any type of price? I'll be first very happy. What we are introducing this year is if anybody gets above 99.9 percentile, any student of Cracku who gets above 99.9 percentile will get their full course fee refunded. Complete whatever they paid. If they paid for complete Cracku, they'll get the money for complete Cracku back. If they paid for test series, they'll get that back. If anybody scores above 99 percentile, they'll get 50% of the money that they paid to us refunded. This is basically what we have started this year. Let us see how it goes. Okay, guys, last 4 minutes. Try to solve it. Okay. Vedavardhan is saying, last week I gave a mock, got 16. Today, one more mock and got around 34. Especially VRC Rush is super useful, sir. Thanks a lot, Vedavardhan. Those are two features I'm actually very proud of. The Cracku Quant Rush and the Cracku Verbal Rush. Both are very, very useful and they're taken by hundreds of students every single day. If you haven't taken the Quant Rush or the Verbal Rush, I would urge you to take it. It will help you quite a lot. Okay, Prapti, I will move from the screen. Sorry for that. Okay, I will explain the question. Don't worry. I'm just waiting for the time to be over. There are 2 minutes left. After that, I'll explain the question. Abhishek, I feel that anybody can score very well. I think that at least scoring 99.99% plus can be done by most of the students. They just need to have belief, motivation, and consistency. I feel that 99 percentile can be achieved by anybody if they put in, say, 7 8 months of dedicated effort. That is more than sufficient for anybody to score above 99 percentile. Getting higher and higher, I think, will get continue to get tougher. But there is basically you need consistency, you need belief, you need that determination to do well. Okay, guys, last 1 minute. Try to solve it. Shubhang wants 2 more minutes. You take your time, man. I'll start explaining it. You can mute me and then try to solve it on your own. If you're not able to solve it, then you can again come back in the stream and watch the explanation. Vedavardhan Guru is saying, Sir, I'm doing daily targets and attending classes regularly, but I'm feeling I'm not solving more questions. I would say make very good use of the weekend. Weekend, you have a lot of time. There won't be a lot of batch tasks even in the Cracku batches because we want people to put in that effort on weekends. Weekends are the time where I want you to solve as many questions as you can. Don't waste them. Okay, guys, time is up. Let's try to solve this question. Okay, what is the information that is given? We are basically given a 4 cross 4 table. The 4 cross 4 table consists of 4 columns B1, B2, B3, and B4, and it consists of 4 rows D1, D2, D3, and D4. The sum of three of the rows is given. We need to calculate the fourth row. So let me first draw the table. This is B1, this is B2, this is B3, and this is B4. This is D1, this is D2, this is D3, and this is D4. Now this is the total. Total also is given. Total of D1 is 28. Total of D2 is 39. D3 total we don't know, D4 total is 29. This is known to us. What are the other things that we know? We know that all the elements in these 4 rows and 4 columns, they total up to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot 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 till 16. Why is that known? Because in some way these 16 elements are 1 to 16. What is the sum of the elements 1 to 16? What is the value of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus dot 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 till 16? This is equal to 16 into 17 divided by 2, which is 17 into 8, which is 136. Why is that the case? Because for any number n, the sum of all the natural numbers from 1 to n is equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. For any number n, whether it is 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever, for the value of any n, the sum of all the natural numbers till n is n into n plus 1 by 2. In this particular case, the value of n is 16. What is the sum of the first 16 natural numbers? It will be 16 into 17 by 2, which is 136. So the sum of all the elements, all of the 16 elements is 136. Out of which this is 28, this is 39, this is 29. So we can calculate the sum of the third row. What will be the sum of the third row? It will be 136 minus 28 minus 39 minus 29. You can add all of them up, you are going to get that the remaining amount has to be 40. So this sum, the sum of the third row is 40. Another information that is given is that the sum of all the columns is the same. The total weight of containers in each of the 4 bays is equal. That is, the sum of all the elements in B1, the sum of all the elements in B2, sum of all the elements in B3, and sum of all the elements in B4 is the same. And all of them would equal 136 divided by 4, and this is equal to 34. So the sum of all the elements in B1 is equal to 34. Sum of all the elements in B2 is 34. Sum of all the elements in B3 is 34. Sum of all the elements in B4 is 34. In addition to it, we are given some of the numbers. This is 176. So this is 1, this is 7, this is 6, and this is 5. Now, before I read any of the clues that are given, this is the step that I would do. If you are told that all the numbers are unique numbers from 1 to a particular number, try to see if you can calculate the total of all the numbers. That would be the first clue. Second, you are able to calculate the sum of all the individual columns. You know the sum of all the individual rows. So definitely you have already made some progress. Now, another thing I would do is, I will probably list down what are the numbers that are remaining. The numbers that are there are from 1 to 16. 4 numbers are filled, 1, 7, 6, and 5. What are the 12 numbers that are remaining? The 12 numbers that are remaining are 2, 3, 4, 5 is there, 6 and 7 are there, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. These are the 12 numbers. They have to be inputted somewhere over here. And once I'm able to do it, the set is solved. Now let us look at the clues that are given. The clues that are given is the product of the weights of the 4 containers of D1 is 480. Okay. So we are told that this one, and this one, because the last one is 1, the product of these 4 numbers is equal to 480. For the sake of this explanation, I'll put some numbers. I'll put some variable names. So let us assume that this is small a, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, this is F, G, H, I, J, K, and L. These 12 alphabets I have to figure out. What is known is A plus B plus C, for example, is 28. Is equal to 27, sorry. Why is that? Because A plus B plus C plus 1 is equal to 28. The sum of the first row is 28. So the sum of A plus B plus C has to be equal to 27. Now we are told that A into B into C is equal to 480. This is told to us. The product of the containers in the first row is equal to 480. Now A, B, and C have to be some numbers within these 12. One of the things which works many times in these kind of questions is trying to identify some of the factors. For example, if you are looking at A, B, and C, none of them will be equal to 9. Because if one of them is equal to 9, 480 is not a multiple of 9. So you can immediately rule it out that, okay, none of them is 9, none of them is 7, none of them is 11. These things you can rule out. None of them is, say, 13. Because none of them are factors of 480. On the other hand, one of the factors of 480 is 5. So either 10 or 15, one of these two has to be either A or B or C. If 10 and 15 are not one of A, B and C, the product will not be a multiple of 5. Here it is 480, which is a multiple of 5. So either 10 has to be one of the three numbers or 15. Let us assume that one of the numbers is, say, 10. Without loss of generality, let us assume that A is 10. We'll try to figure out the three numbers, and after that we'll figure out whether it is A or B or C. I'm just saying that for the sake of explaining, assume that A is equal to 10. Then B plus C will be equal to 17 from this, and B into C will be equal to 48 from this. Now, can you find two numbers such that their sum is equal to 17 and their product is equal to 48? If the two numbers are 9 and 8, product is 72. If the two numbers are 10 and 7, product is 70. If they are 11 and 6, it is 66. 12 and 5 is 60. 13 and 4 is 52. 14 and 3 is 42. 15 and 2 is 30. 16 and 1 is 16. No such numbers exist. So one of the numbers cannot be equal to 10. Let us assume that one of the numbers is equal to 15. Then B plus C is equal to 12. And B into C is equal to, what is 480 divided by 15? 480 divided by 15 is 32. Now, can you find two numbers such that their sum is 12 and their product is 32? You will find two numbers. There are only two numbers such that their sum is 12 and their product is 32, and those two numbers are 8 and 4. So what we are essentially saying is A, B and C in some order are 15, 8 and 4. Either A can be 15 or 8 or 4, whatever is the order, we know that the three numbers are 15, 8 and 4 in some order. So let me cross off 15, let me cross off 8, let me cross off 4. These three numbers are definitely coming in the first row. In which order we'll figure out later. But amongst the remaining 9, they are not 15, 8 or 4. The weights of the containers in B1 decrease from top to bottom. So if you're looking at B1 over here, the weights are decreasing. What this means is that A is greater than, D is greater than, F is greater than J. They're all decreasing. Now immediately you will feel that, okay, I know something about A. A is either 15 or 8 or 4. You would think that because A is greater than D, F and J, maybe A is equal to 15. A seems to be a large number. But just to prove that A is 15, let us first consider that, say, if A is equal to 4. If A is 4, D has to be lesser than A, F has to be lesser than D, J has to be lesser than F. The sum of these 4 will be, say, 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is 10. It won't be 34. So A is definitely not equal to 4. If A is equal to 8, A plus D plus F plus J will be less than 4 times A, because A itself is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. If D, F and J, if they are lesser than A, the sum of these 4 will be less than 32. It will not be 34. So A is not even equal to 8. The only possibility is that A has to be equal to 15. And B and C will be 8 and 4 in some order. We'll figure out what they are in some time. Now, once you know that A is equal to 15, what is the sum of D plus F plus J? D plus F plus J is equal to 19. And what are the values D, F and J can take? Like we discussed, the values remaining are 2, 3, let me write it down, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 16. These are the numbers that are remaining. Now D is the largest amongst these three. We are told that D is greater than F is greater than J. If say D is equal to 16, F plus J will have to equal 3. That is not happening. So D is not equal to 16. If D is equal to 14, F plus J will have to equal 5. That is possible with 2 and 3. So one possibility is that these three are 14, 3 and 2. This is one possibility. If say D is equal to 13, the sum of F plus J has to equal 6. Amongst these numbers, you won't find two numbers which are adding up to 6. So it is not 13. If D is equal to 12, the sum of F plus J has to be equal to 7. Again, you won't find any two numbers which are adding up to 7. So it is not this. If D is equal to 11, the sum of F plus J has to equal 8. Again, you won't find 8 over here. Similarly, even with 10, the sum of two numbers over here has to equal 9. 9 is one of the numbers, but you want two numbers to sum up to 9. That won't happen. If D is equal to 9, again you won't find two numbers which will add up to 10. The only triplets which are adding up to 19 amongst our set are 14, 3 and 2. And because we know that D is greater than F is greater than J, D will have to be equal to 14, F will be equal to 3, J will be equal to 2. Now again, let me go back and figure out what are the numbers that are remaining. I am removing 2, 3 and 14. So now I have only 6 variables remaining, which are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 16. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 16. These are the numbers that are remaining. If I actually look at the table now, you can see that D2 is nearly filled up. We have 14, 7 and 6. Three numbers are there. They total up to 27. 14 plus 13 is 27. So E has to be equal to 12. So I can remove one 12 also over here. I have 5 variables remaining, 9, 10, 11, 13 and 16. If I'm looking at the column B4, I have 1, 12 and 5. 1 plus 12 is 13 plus 5 is 18. So I has to be equal to 16. So 16 also is removed. Now I'm just left with 4 variables and the numbers that are remaining are 9, 10, 11 and 13. I am not able to figure out anything else from the table directly. So let me go to the next clue. The next clue says that there are 2 containers in B1 and 3 containers in D4 whose weights are prime numbers. So in B1, there are 2 containers which are prime numbers. I actually know them. There is no additional information here. The 2 numbers are 2 and 3. They are prime. Okay, that is fine. Then I have 3 containers in D4. In D4, there are 3 containers which are prime. I know 2 and I know 5. I know 2 prime numbers. So one of K or L is prime. What are the 2 prime numbers that are remaining? The 2 prime numbers that are remaining are 11 and 13. So one of K or L is 11 or 13. This is basically the additional information I have. Now, if I'm looking at the sum, what is the value of G plus H? G plus H is equal to 3 plus 16 is 19. 3 plus G plus H plus 16 is equal to 40. So G plus H has to equal 21. I need to find 2 numbers over here from 9, 10, 11 and 13 which are adding up to 21. The only possibility is that they are 10 and 11. So G and H in some order have to be 10 and 11. So either G is 10 or H is 10. Now there are only 2 numbers which are remaining, which have to be 9 and 13. If you add this, 2 plus 5 is 7. 29 minus 7 is 22, which is basically 9 plus 13. So in some order, this is 9 and 13 in some order. Now if you are looking at the table, we have determined B1 perfectly. We have determined B4 perfectly. But amongst B2 and B3, there are some cases which are remaining. Here it is 8 or 4, this is also 8 or 4. Here it is 10 or 11, this also is 10 or 11. This is 9 or 13, this is 9 or 13. Let us try to see if we can eliminate some of the cases. If you're looking at, for example, say B2, the first one is 8 or 4. The second one is 7. The third one is 10 or 11. The third one is 9 or 13. Always, one of the things that I always try to use in these kind of situations is the sum of numbers. What I mean by that is 8 and 4, both of them are even. 7 is odd. 9 or 13, both of them are odd. Even plus odd is an even number. The sum I know is even. Even plus odd is even. The sum is even. This number has to be even. If this number is odd, it will be an even number plus 3 odd numbers. The sum will be odd. But here I know that the sum is even. So this would imply that this is even. These two I know are odd. So this number has to be even. So this has to be 10. And this has to be 11. Let me again try to see if I can find some more information. Again, B1 is known, B4 is known. The only two things that I don't know are B2 and B3. So if I'm again looking at B2, the first one can be 8 or 4. The second one is 7. The third one is 10. The next one is 9 or 13. And this has to total up to 34. Immediately, there is no contradiction that I'm able to see. So I'll list down the cases. If I list down the cases and if I'm able to disprove some cases, that is good. Here, basically, there are only two cases remaining. There are not a lot of cases. Either the first one is 8 or the first one is 4. So one case is, this is B2 and this will be B3. The first case is that this is 8, this is 4, this is 7, this is 10. 8 plus 7 is 15 plus 10 is 25. So this has to be 9. This is totaling up to 34. In the second case, this is 6, this is 11, this is 21. So this has to be 13. This is one case of distribution of B2 and B3. There is no contradiction. This is possible. The second case is, this is B2 and this is B3. The first element of B2 is 4. The first element of B3 is 8. Then we have 7 and 6, we have 10 and 11, and here we are going to get 13 and 9. Again, if you total both of them, you are going to get 34 and 34. Again, there is no contradiction. This also seems to be completely fine. So this is the second case, and this is the first case. Both cases are possible. So we basically have two cases. Let us go ahead and answer the questions that follow. For how many cells can we uniquely determine the weights of the containers placed in them? There are a total of 16 cells. Other than this one, this one, this one, and this one, that is other than the 4 cells, we can determine it for 12 of the cells. What is the weight of the container in tons placed in D3B2? D3B2 is this one. It has to be 10. What is the product of the weights of the containers in deck 3? Product of the weights of the containers in deck 3 is 3 into 10 into 11 into 16. This is 1760 into 3, which is equal to 5280. What is the sum of the weights of the containers placed in D1B2 and D4B3? D1B2, there are two cases. D1B2 is 8, D4B3 is 13. So in the first case, the sum is 21. In the second case, it is 4 plus 9, which is 13. So the sum is either 21 or 13. So it can be either option A or it can be option B. So the correct answer is that it cannot be determined. Those are the two sets, guys. Like I said, we will be conducting these kind of sessions every Saturday. If you are interested in these kind of sessions, please do attend them. Please do like our stream and please do subscribe to the channel. The second thing I want to say is we have a CAT course. We have a new batch that is starting from this Monday, that is day after tomorrow. If you're interested in enrolling to it, you can just Google search Cracku CAT 2026 course. You'll go to a page where all the information about the course is there. We do have daily live classes in the evening from 7:30 to 9:30. We have weekly revision. We have day-wise schedule where we tell you exactly what you have to do every single day. We also have one-to-one mentorship where you can book a slot and our mentor is going to call you. If you have any doubts about this course, or if you are eligible for any scholarship, we do give scholarship based on your previous CAT attempts and based on your academic profile. You can just contact us on WhatsApp. This is our WhatsApp number, 6303 239042.
Okay, guys. So I'll be continuing with the session, and we'll have two more sets. One is roots and networks, an easy set on roots and networks. Sorry, an easy set on roots and networks, and there's one more set which is a quant puzzle, which is slightly tricky but not very difficult. So we have two sets coming up, one easy set, one moderate set. So let's get started. Okay, so I will give the, I don't know why is this. Okay, so I'll give the roots and networks set first. I hope all of you know how to like solve roots and networks questions. If you guys don't know, I'll give you a quick recap of how to solve roots and networks question. Whenever a root is given, okay, whenever you have to calculate, okay, how many ways are there, how many routes are there from say A to D. The thing that you have to do is basically consider all the things that go out from a particular direction. So from A, how many things go out of A? There are two ways. One is AB and AC. Second is from B, how many outs are there? If you come from A, there is only one out, which is D. So if I have to list out all the routes that are there, I will say there is one A, B, D, A, C, D. If there was another, say, E, and E was, say, going to B and also going to D. Now from A, you have ABD, which is a direct route. You have ACD, which is also a direct route. And you have AED also, which is a direct route. Another thing is that E also goes to B. So you have to also say that AEBD is also a route. So in this routes and networks that I'm giving you, you will see it's a more complicated diagram. But essentially, in all of these cases, what you can say is that from this route, you have two outs, A, B, A, E. So I'll consider from A, B, how many outs are there? A, B, C is there, A, B, F is there. From C, how many outs are there? C, E is there, C, D is there. So using all of those outs, how many outs are there? You have to count the number of routes that are there. You will not be asked to count the routes like from any node to any node. In a given question, you will be say that, okay, how many ways are there to go from A to D? So from A to D, you have to say that A, B, C. If I go from A, B, C, there is one direct way, A, B, C, D, and an indirect way, A, C, E, F, D. If I go from A, B, F, there's a direct way, or I can come back here and go like this. So every single time whenever you're going to a particular node value, think of how many outs are there from that node value and write them down. List them down, then you will get the proper list of how many routes that are possible. This is the only task that is there in roots or networks, basically listing out all the routes that are there. Given a network diagram, you have to list all the routes that are there. So with that, I'll give you this particular set that is there. This is the instructions. This is the routes and networks. This is the network diagram. And there are some clues that are given in addition to it. There's a table also, I'll just show you. So a table is given below the routes and networks. So here is the information about the network. And I'll give the full information, then I'll start the timer, okay? And below the table, you are given some more info. So this is the longish set, a lot of information, a lot of instructions that are there. So see all of it. Whenever you have to read a particular part, just pause that part and read it. And this is the last instructions, the following extra information that is there. This is the last part, okay? The questions that are there are, this is the first question. This is question 2. This is question 3. And this is the last question. Okay. Oh, there is 5 questions. So this is question 4. No, this is question 3 only. And this is the last question, question 4. Okay. So with that, I'll start your timer. I want all of you to try to solve this set. If there was any part that you did not see, just pause, go back in the video and see that part. I'm giving you 12 minutes to solve it. This is an easy set. I expect all of you to solve this one. Ma'am, does watching 165 recorded daily night live classes help me cover up at least the syllabus? I reached only day 75 video, but Cracku reached day 141 and syllabus will be finished in 165 days. I think it will basically, even if you have some amount of backlog, that's fine. you can try to cover it up over the weekends. I just want you to think of that, okay, the syllabus will be covered, and then you have to start practicing. There's enough time from now till CAT, so don't worry. The syllabus can be covered even if you start now. So if you have already done a lot of it, you just have to work a little bit harder on the weekends. You will cover up the syllabus, and then you can start with the practice also. Vedavardhan had asked, do we get notes for this? We'll put up a PDF of all the question sets that are there so that you can review them later. We'll put the explanation also with that. AFD is also possible, yes. So you can basically say AED. If here, I think, over here there are multiple ones possible. So you have to essentially list out all the things that are possible. Remember that you can also go backwards, but you can't repeat a note. So remember, you have to just consider the number of outs that are there, not just the outs going forward, but also sometimes the outs going backward. Come on, guys, I want all of you to attempt this set. I'll show the network again in case anybody didn't see it properly. This is a table. If any field is not visible, just let me know. If any part is not visible, I think it should be visible, but if it is not, let me know. And this is the network diagram. Okay, Mahavets is asking a very important question. So when does the Shaurya batch start and how can you join it? So you can find the details. We'll put it in the description box. Also, we'll put it in the live chat. It starts on Monday. Okay, so 15 June Monday. So not 15 June. Yeah, 15 June Monday it starts. The first live class will be from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. All the information that you need, you can find it on the link that we have provided. Okay, so we have just answered your question with the link. So just take a look at the link. You will get all the details that you need. How much time? There is 8 more minutes. Come on, guys. I see a lot of people are just passively watching the video. Don't passively watch the video. Try to solve the questions that are there. Okay. You guys can, if you just make a list of all the networks, all the routes that are there, this is actually a very easy set. Okay. And this routes and networks comes in every alternate year. And the next one, which is quants puzzle, also comes almost every year as such. So both are pretty important sets that you should have some experience of. Okay, so what is the difference between daily live classes and recorded sessions in concept videos? So concept videos, we have pre-recorded videos where I take all the pre-recorded videos. I have explained the basic theory and I have taken 5 examples for each concept. So you will learn all the formulas that are there, all the concepts that are there, you will learn through the pre-recorded videos. The live sessions are basically a additional amount of theory coverage as well as practice coverage as such. Because even if I teach you, okay, this is a formula, for you to learn how to apply it, you need some kind of live practice. So that is where the live sessions come in. So for that same video, In the evening, there'll be a live session. So if, for example, today you are learning about triangles, the basics of triangles, what is altitude, what is centroid and all, on the same day at like night from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., you will have a live session where basics will be covered again. We'll revise them quickly, and then we'll solve a lot of questions on that same topic. So you also learn how to solve. Seeing me solve and like between seeing just me solve and you solving yourself, the live session basically acts as that bridge so that we ensure that you also learn how to solve these the questions from that particular topic. It is additional practice, it is additional support. A lot of students who are very bright can like learn just from the pre-recorded videos, but from our experience, a lot of students need the live sessions for that extra help before they can solve questions themselves. See the concept video first. The concept video is very like exhaustive. It will tell you everything that is there. The live session is more geared towards practice. It is more geared towards making you solve so that you learn how to solve all the questions that are there. If you start your preparation now, the new batch will make sure your complete syllabus is covered. So conceptual coverage will be done. In addition to that, we'll make sure that you solve a lot of questions. A lot of students basically falter because they don't solve a lot of questions themselves. So we have live sessions every day from 7:30 to 9:30, and we solve a lot of questions every single day. We make sure that the students solve with us so that you have firstly conceptual coverage, syllabus coverage, plus you have practice also. You have practice like which is guided practice. In addition to that, you have access to study room, which has thousands of questions. So you get like a full, the course basically covers everything. Learning part, practice part, even mocks and sectionals are covered. So you will basically get like an end-to-end coaching for everything that you need to crack CAT. And because we have like limited time from now till CAT, we have like 6 months. We have to be very, very like careful of how we use time. So we'll make sure that you cover the syllabus in the least time possible. Okay. So we have 4 minutes left, 4.5 minutes left. Come on, guys. Let's try to finish this one. I know all of you can solve this. This is an easy set. I know all of you can solve this. So let's please try to solve it. Can I show the table on the screen? Yeah. Shubhang, check your answer again. Check your calculation again. I think you might have made a silly mistake. Last 1 minute, guys. Come on, let's try to solve this one. I know you guys can do it. Last 1 minute. Okay, so the time is up, guys. I think this was an easy set, but the truth is a lot of people have forgotten how to do roots and networks. I think many of you guys might not have solved roots and networks for quite some time now. So we'll revise it. This way, at least all of you guys will revise the basics of roots and networks. And you'll also realize that roots and networks generally are very easy sets. So let's see how to solve this one. So there are 7 cities, A, B, C, D, E, F. The ones who are still solving, continue solving, put it. So whoever gets all the answers correct, I'll give a shout out to anybody who gets all answers correct. There are some people who have given the answer to question number 9, but 10, 11, 12 is remaining. So try to solve all of them. And then I'll give a shout out to whoever has done all of the 4 questions. So I'll solve till then, you guys continue, okay? Whoever is very close to the answer. There are 7 cities A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and each city has one airport to go from one city to another. There are only 2 airline companies which operate in any of the cities, Blue India and Violet India. Not every airport is connected to every other airport. The connectivity map is given. So there are 2 airlines. This is the connectivity map of the airports that are there. Here, every line between 2 airports represents that they are connected. For example, A is connected to B and E directly. There can be more than one route for going from one airport to another. Because obviously, if I want to go to A, if I want to go to E, from A to E, I can go directly, or I can do A, B, F, E also, because all of those are also interconnected to each other. Each of the 2 airlines have certain fare for going from one airport to another in rupees, which is given in the partially filled table below. So I have some table, some missing values are there. So here the Blue India values for AB, ABC, AE and FD are not given. The fares given above are for direct flights only, with no other airport visited in between the 2 airports. The fare of the direct flight from any airport X to any airport Y is equal to the fare of the direct flight from airport Y to airport X. So it is interchangeable. If you go AE or EA, it's the same thing, it doesn't matter. The following information is also known. The fare Blue India charges for direct flight AB is more than the fare Violet India charges for the same route. So this value, I'll take some color which is other than white. I'll take red. So this value is greater than this value. There is the first clue. The second clue is that the fare of Blue India for direct flights FD is twice the fare of Blue India for direct flight BC. The fare of Blue India for any direct flight is a non-zero integral multiple of 5,000. The total fare of Blue India for AD is 20,000 in one of the routes. Okay, so I can say that one thing is that for Blue India, it is all multiples of 5,000. So let's say this is 5x, this is 5y. We are told that for FD, it is twice the fare of BC. So if this is 5y, this will be 10y. And let's say this is 5z, okay? These are the, I have assumed some variables x, y, and z. So this is 5x, 5y, 5z, where essentially x, y, z are in thousands. I've assumed 5 because they have given that it has to be a multiple of 5,000. So I've assumed that, okay, let's say it is 5x, 5y, 5z, where z, x, y, z are multiples of 1,000. And these are all non-zero integral multiples. So x, y, z have to be non-zero multiples of 1,000. And for Blue India, AD is 20,000 in one of the routes. This is the other clue that is given. One thing I can say is that 5x is greater than 5,000. 5x is greater than 5,000. X, Y, Z essentially are multiples of 1,000, right? If 5x is greater than 5000, x has to be greater than 1000, which means that x can be 2000, 3000, and so on. Okay, all of these are possible, but equal to 1000 is not possible. This is the first condition. The second condition is this is 5y, this becomes 10y, and this is some variable 5z. Now we are told that AD in some root it is equal to 20,000. Okay, AD for some root is 20,000. So let us first find out what are all the AD roots that are there. Okay, what are all the possible AD roots? Okay, so you have first let us consider all the listings from AB. Then I'll consider all the listings that are from AE. From A, those are the only two outs that are there. Either I'll go to B or I'll go to E. So AB is one of the set of roots, the other is AE is the other set of roots. From B, there are two outs, BC or BF. So I have ABC or ABF as the two possibilities. From C again, there are two outs, CE or CD. So I have basically this is ABCD. This can be ABCE. And from E, I cannot go back to A. I cannot go back to C. So I have only F. I cannot go back to B. So I have again D. So again, I have EFD. Why can't I go back? If I go back, I basically complete a circle. And already I know that many of these values are multiples of 5000. All of them essentially, if you look at the table, right? All of these are at least multiples of 5000. Okay. So if they are at least multiples of 5000, if I have 3 dashes, it is at least 15,000. If I have 4 dashes, it is already above or equal to 20,000. Because the minimum value of 4 dashes will be 20,000. And wherever it is 10,000 and all, it will be greater than 20,000 only. So here I can many of these roots I can eliminate just from the estimate that at max I can have 3 stops in the middle, because if everything is above 5,000, 4 hops by default will be 20,000 at the very least. And if it is equal to 20,000, I can eliminate many of the cases. But first I want to start by considering all cases that are there. So from A, B, C, D is one of the case, A, B, C, E, F, D is one of the case, A, B, F, then D is one of the case. Coming back over here and then going like this makes no sense, but it is there. So A, B, F, D is there, A, B, F, E, C, D is also there. And this is basically from F, I've considered all the outs that are there. Now consider AE. From AE, a similar pattern or a similar number of roots that are there. I can have AECD, I can have AEFD, I can have AEF. From F, I can go to BCD, and I can have AEC. I can, from C, I can go anywhere else, C, B, F, D. This is also there. All of these are possibilities. Now, from these possibilities, can I use some sense to remove some of the possibilities? So basically, I can remove everywhere where there are say 4 stops in the middle. There are 1 hop, 2 hop, 3 hop, 4 hop, 5 hop. 5 hop will be at the very least 25,000, because each distance is at the minimum 5,000, because they are all multiples of 5,000, right? So I can eliminate all of these because they are not going to happen. It will definitely be above 25,000. Again, this one I can eliminate. Not going to happen. Not going to be 20,000 at all. This and this is possible. Again, I can eliminate all of these two because there will be a minimum of 25,000. So all of those extra long ones I can eliminate because they are not going to fit within 20,000. So these are the 4 possibilities that I have to think, and one of these 4 should add up to 20,000. So now let us see. This is a table that is given. What is the value associated with each one of them? A, B, C, D. So AB is 5x. So this is 5x. BC is 5y. And CD is how much? CD is 5,000. Okay. This is one value. ABFD. AB is 5x. BF is how much? BF is 5,000. FD is how much? FD is 10y. Okay. This is the other possibility. AECD. AE is how much? This is 5z. EC is how much? 15,000. Okay. And CD is how much? CD is 5,000. And again, I have AE is 5Z. EF is how much? EF is again 15,000. And FD is how much? FD is 10Y. Okay, so these are the 4 values in front of us. Just looking at the values, can you tell me which values or which options I can eliminate? I have, this is 5,000, 5Z plus 20,000 over here. The whole sum has to be equal to 20,000. That would mean Z is 0, but Z cannot be 0. We are told that they are non-zero multiples of 5,000, which means that Z cannot be equal to 0. So this root, I can eliminate, it is already 20,000. This is 5Z plus 10Y is equal to 15,000. So if I say that this is equal to 20,000, 5Z plus 10Y will be equal to how much? 5,000. X, Y has to be at least like 1,000. Z has to be at least like 1,000. So if Z and Y are at least 1,000 each, what would be the sum of 5Z plus 10Y? Minimum sum 15,000. 15,000 plus 15,000. At the very least, this path would be at least 30,000, if not more. Which means that again, this can be eliminated. This cannot be equal to 20,000. Over here, let's consider this 5x plus 5,000 plus 10y. And 5x plus 5y plus 5,000. These are equal to 20,000. I'll remove these. These are like not going to happen. Okay. This is equal to say 20,000. That would mean that 5x plus 5y is equal to how much? This is equal to 15,000. Okay. This is one possibility. Okay. What do we know about x? X we know is greater than 1,000. X has to be at least 2,000. Okay. If x is at least 2,000, do we have a solution for this particular equation? So x plus y is essentially, if I divide throughout by 5, this is equal to 3,000. Of which x and y both are multiples of 1,000 and x is at least 2,000. X cannot be equal to 1,000 because then the first condition that Blue India AB flight is greater than Violet India AB flight will be violated. So x is at the minimum 2,000. So there is only one solution over here. The solution is that x is equal to 2,000 and y is equal to 1,000. This is a single solution that we get for this. If this path is equal to 20,000, this is the only solution that we get. Consider if this path is equal to 20,000. In that case, I'll get 5x plus 10y plus 5,000 is equal to 20,000. So 5x plus 10y will be equal to 15,000. X and y are at least 1,000 each. If x and y are at least 1,000 each, the sum will be 15,000. So here x will have to be equal to 1,000. But x cannot be 1,000. In which case, Blue India's flight for AB will equal Violet India's flight for AB. And that is given as not true. Which means that this case cannot happen because in that case, x is equal to 1,000. And we are told x cannot be equal to 1,000. So this case goes away. This root is not the root which is equal to 20,000. There is only one root which is equal to 20,000, which is the ABCD one. I considered all the roots. I eliminated all the roots which cannot equal to 20,000. I found this one root is equal to 20,000 and it is equal to 20,000 in only one condition where x is equal to 2,000 and y is equal to 1,000. If x is equal to 2,000, how much is this? This is equal to 10,000. And if y is equal to 1,000, how much is this? This is 5,000. And if y is equal to 1,000, how much is this? This is 10,000. Okay, anybody has any question till now? Any doubt till now? Didn't understand any part of it? Anybody has any doubt? I'll wait, I'll explain it again. Just let me know. Come on guys, if everything is all clear till now, just let me know that all clear, I'll move ahead. All clear? Okay. Okay. So moving ahead, if anybody has any question, just let me know. Okay. All clear. Let's move ahead then. So I have been able to find out what is the values of 3 of them. One I have not been able to find out, which is AE. But I have used up everything till now. Okay, all the information that is given, I have used up. This information, this information, this information. I've used everything up, which means that this is the max I can figure out. Everything else I have to figure out using the information that is there in the questions. So now let us actually go to the information that is there in the questions. I'll use that and I'll solve each question case by case basis. Okay, so let's go to the questions now. So the first question is, what is the minimum fare charged by Blue India for the route FG? Okay, so let us take a look at the route FG. So from F to G, how many routes are there? Multiple routes are there. One is FDG, which is the most direct route. Any other routes that are there? From F, I can go to, if I go to D, if I go to C, I again have to come back to D. So if I don't repeat the most, like if I have to anyway find the minimum value, if I go to D, I have to go to G only, because this is the only one route that is there. So F to D, there is only one path. Now consider the other out of F, FB. From FB, I can go to FBC, DG. So this is one route, FB, D, C, G. I have FE, A, B, C, D, E, G. So I have FE, A, B, C, D, G. I have multiple possible cases that are there. I think F, E, C, D, G is also there. But I have to find out the minimum value. If I've been told I have to find out the minimum value, what should I do? I should try to minimize the number of hops that are there. And I'll try to put all the information that is there on the graph itself, because then I can find the minimum values far faster. If I try to list out everything, no, I'll actually end up wasting a lot of time. But if I put information here, I'll actually make it easier. So I know this is 10K. Okay, AB is 10K, BC is 5K, BC is 5K, BF is how much? Okay, CD is 5K, DG is 10K, CD is 5K, DG is 10K, AE is 5Z, EC is 15, 15, AE, EC, EF, okay, AE is 5Z, EC is 15,000, EF is also 15,000, okay, and I'll just remove all of this. The last three that are there, okay, FD is 10K and BF is 5K. FD, this is 10K and BF is 5K. Okay, this is the information that I have. Now, if I look at it, what is the minimum value of FDG? It is 10K plus 10K, this becomes 20K. This shortest part that I have is 20K. If I try to take any other path, okay, I go like say over here, 5K, 10K, 5K, 15K plus 10K, 25K. I'll actually increase the cost. If I go like this, I'm not actually making it shorter, I'm increasing it by 5K. If I go like this is 15K itself, 15K, 30K already done, plus 15K, 45K. So the more I'm going away to this direction, I'm actually increasing the price and I'm being asked to find the least price. So the least price, if I see even visually, every time I go over here, 15K is directly like taking place, 15K and my minimum path is 20K, everything else will at least be 5K. So I cannot possibly take this path because immediately after I take this path, I'm going to exceed 20K. So FE makes no sense. FE, if I don't come this side, I have only two possible, this is FDG or FBCDG. Here it is 25K. From FB to come here also doesn't make sense. So the only path is that I have to consider is FBCDG, which is 25K, and this direct path, which is 20K. Every other path will be much more than 20K. So if I am asked what is the minimum fare that will be charged by Blue India for the route FG, the minimum charge for the most direct path is 20,000. So this answer is 20K. Okay. Okay, this is a medium, easy to moderate difficulty level question. If the difference in the total fare of the two airlines for going from B to E is such that no airport is visited more than once is 9,000 for the same routes, then what is the total fare for Blue India for the route BAEFB? B to E, the difference is 9,000. Okay, let's see how do I go B to E. What are the possibilities from going B to E? If I go from B to E, I can go BCE. Okay, this is one possibility. All of the fares that are here are of Blue India. Violet India I have not written. So BCE is one of the fares. What other fares do I have? BCDFE, that is also there. And I've been told I cannot repeat it any times. I do not visit a particular stop any times. So from the time I come to BC, I can come directly here, I can come here and here and here. I can go back to B. Okay. So this BC, all the paths are done for BC. Consider BF. BFE is one of the direct paths. BF, if I go to D, BFDCE is also a path. Any other path I can have? BF going outward to D, coming here to E, both the outs are considered. BC coming directly to E, going out to D, both paths are considered. From D, we have an out towards G, but essentially G is like just a one-way path. If I go to G, I have to come back to D, in which case the node gets repeated. So I will not consider this part in this kind of a question. So I have considered all the outs for C, I have considered all the outs for F. Now I have to consider from B, I can go to A also. So the other path that I should consider is BAE. And is there any other path from B to E other than BAE I have to consider? BCE I have to consider, BCDFE I have to consider, BFE I have to consider, BFDCE I have to consider. I think I've considered all the paths that are there. One of these paths, have I missed any path as such? Just let me know. One of these paths, the difference between Blue India and Violet India should be 9,000. So let us consider for BCE, what is the difference? So let us see where the difference of like 9,000 will come. BCE, BC plus CE is 5,000 plus 15,000 difference. This is 20,000 for Blue India. This is 15,000 for Violet India. Difference of 9,000 is not there. So I can eliminate this. BCDFE, BCDFE, 5,000, CD is 5,000, 10,000, DF is 10,000, 20,000, FE is 15,000, so 35,000 is one's way. This is 12,000, 12,000 plus 30,000, wait, sorry, 10,000, 20,000, so 20,000 and FE 35,000. So one part was 35,000 for Blue India, and for Violet India this is 12,000, 18,000 more, so 30,000, and this is 13,000. So difference would be of 30 plus 13, so that would be 43. So that difference is 8,000 as such. This difference is 8,000, not the 9,000 that we need. So can be eliminated. BFE. BFE is BF plus FE, 5,000 plus 15,000, 20,000 difference. Here 8,000 plus 13,000, 21,000. So differences of 1K between the two flights can be eliminated. BFDCE. BFDCE. Again BF plus FD, 15,000. DC would be 5,000, so that would be 20,000, and CE would be another 50,000, so that is 35,000. And from the other side would be how much? BFDCE. BF 8,000, FD 18,000, 26,000. DC is 30,000, 30,000, and CE is 7,000, 37,000. Again, a difference of 2,000. Not the 9K that we need. Okay. My only hope is BAE, because I think the reason why that particular clue was also given is because this is still in variable form. I have to find out what this value is. If it is in variable form, it has to be there as such. Okay. So I have BA plus AE is 10K plus AE will be 5,000. This is one value. And BA 5,000 plus 16,000. This is 21,000. Okay. So I am telling you that this value, this difference is equal to 9,000. Okay. The difference is 9,000. It can be plus 9,000. It can be minus 9,000. If it is like say minus 9,000, if this is equal to minus 9,000, then I'll have 10k, that is 10,000 plus 5z will be equal to 12,000. 12,000, it cannot be equal to 12,000 because this is like some multiple of 1,000. So 5z will be some multiple of 5,000. So the left hand side is definitely multiple of 5,000 as such. So 21,000 minus 9,000 will be 12,000, which is not a multiple of 5,000. So this has to be plus. Then I'll get 21,000 plus 9,000, I'll get 30,000. And that is a multiple of 5,000. So if 10k plus 5z is equal to 30,000, how much is 5z? 5z will be equal to 20,000. So I am telling you this path that is there, AE over here, this is equal to 20,000. If this is equal to 20,000, we are asked something, okay, this is equal to 20,000, then what is the total fare of Blue India for BAEFD? Okay, BAEFD, I'll write my 20,000 value over here. Remember, this is for only this question, but this AE for this question is 20,000. And we are asked what is BAEFD. BA is how much? 10k. AE, another 20k, 30k total. EF, another 15k, 30 plus 15, 45k. FD, another 10k, 45k plus 10k, 55k. So what is the price of BAEFD? I get that price to be 55,000. Okay. Ma'am, I'm preparing to take CAT 2026. At that time, I'll be in my last year. The problem is that even if I clear CAT and B school, my final semester exam will end in July 27. Am I eligible? You need a provisional certificate and you need to actually put pressure on your authorities, because the issue is that the most of the joining of the colleges will be in June itself. So if they are not like giving you freedom till July 27, it is going to be very difficult for you to join the college. So try to work with the college authorities so that your course ends in June itself. Okay. Samir, was there any question? Anybody has any question till now? Okay. No worries. See, I will say that a lot of colleges actually respond whenever you actually tell them that, okay, this is a requirement, you have to finish the course by this so that I am able to join. And again, I would say that try to make sure that you give your full effort to CAT. That should not divert you from giving a full effort to CAT, because if you actually have an admission in hand, then you have something to actually tell the authorities that, okay, I have an admission, I am doing well in CAT. You should actually expedite the the transfer certificate, the graduation for somebody who already has the second admission. Okay. Okay. Anybody has any problem till that? Any issues till now? Okay. So let's go to the 11th question. If the difference in the total fare of the two airlines for going from B to E such that no airport is visited twice, so the same condition as last one. So we found in that case A is 20,000. Then what is the maximum difference between the total fare of Blue India and Violet India to go from B to G via the same route such that no airport is visited twice? Now, instead of finding minimum, okay, I have to find maximum between B and G. If I have to find maximum between B and G, what should I do? I should try to put as many as many hops as possible, because the more the number of hops that are there, the better it is. And in this case, what actually would help me is if I have like the difference table up. So over here, I will actually try to put the differences between the two fares right on the table itself, so I can visualize. Am I increasing the difference? Am I decreasing the difference? So let us take a look at the two differences. Here, AB. What is the difference between AB? It is 5k between the two airlines. BC, what is the difference between BC? It is minus 3k. I am considering Blue India and Violet India. So Blue India minus Violet India. So if Violet India is greater, I'll have minus values. If Blue India is greater, I'll have plus values. Here it is 5,000 minus 8,000. So I'll put the BC value as minus 3k. Okay. Then you have for over here 5,000, 4,000. So CD will be 1k. And you have DG is minus 2k. You have over here AE is 4k. EC will be 8k. Okay, EC, I should definitely try to include EC because 8K is a lot of like difference. EF is 2K, not much difference, but okay. And FD is minus 8K and BF is minus 3K. FD is minus 8K and BF is 2K. No, how much is BF? Is 3K, minus 3K. So this is minus 3K. Okay. So if I have to maximize the difference while I'm going from B to G, I should find a way to include, if I'm trying to make blue India much greater than violet India, I should try to find a way to include CE because CE has a positive 8,000 difference. On the other hand, if I want to increase like violet India should be much more than blue India, I should include FD because this is minus 8,000. So let us consider if blue India value is greater than violet India, what is the longest way or what is the max difference I can put? Okay, I have to start from B and have to end in G. Okay, so here I have blue India 2, it has to be greater. So I have to consider positive differences. I have to try to minimize the negative differences. So here it is negative, here it is negative, here it is positive. Okay, so this is 5K plus 4K 9K plus 2K 11K, 11K, but from here it is minus minus. So I am actually getting negative values from here. So instead of going to F, what I'll do is, this is 5K, 4K, 9K. I'll take this because it helps me. So this would be 9K plus 8K, 17K, 18K minus 2. So in that case, I'm getting 16K as the difference. If I go BA, AE, okay? And from E, I have two outs, okay? F1 or C1. Firstly, EC is very good for me because it has 8K as the difference, positive 8K as the difference. Very good for me. I should try to take it. And the other thing is that if I go over here, okay, if I go to EF, the only other out for me, I cannot go back to B, I cannot go back to E, I have to go to D. And FD have minus 8K over here. And I don't want minus 8K because I want to maximize the difference. So what I will do is, I will not go to F. From E, I should go to C. So I'll take BAEC. So this difference will be 17K. CD is another 1K difference. So that is 18K. The last mile, that is minus 2K, which is fixed. I cannot avoid this minus 2K because it is going to be applied for any kind of this. It is the only path that is there. And then minus 2K difference is there. So I get basically 18K minus 2K. I get 16K as the difference, where blue India's flights are 16K more expensive than violet India's flights over here. Now I'll try to make the negative more higher. So I'll consider the case where violet India is greater than blue India. I'll try to get the negative parts as much as possible, as negative as possible. So here I have one negative, DG is minus 8. This is another big negative over here. So this is also a very good path for me to take. So this minus 2, minus 8, so that is minus 10. This is another negative path. This is actually positive. This is minus 3. So that is also good for me. This basically would be the least value that I can take. Minus 3, minus 8, minus 2. So this is minus 11, minus 2. I get minus 13K over here. So if I take the absolute value of difference, if violet India is greater than blue India, the absolute value of difference between their fares, if I take this case, is 13K. And if I consider the case where blue India is greater than violet India, I take this long path and I get the difference of the longest path that I can take to be 16K. Everywhere, if I try to like say maximize, what I will do is I'll try to do this greedy first algorithm. I'll try to find that path where I have to get the max value out. Here 8K is very good. That is preferable to the 2K that is there. So I'll take the 8K. And again positive and negative. So again I'll try to maximize what is the difference. And when I try to maximize the difference, I get two possibilities, either 16K one or 13K one. Which is the one which has a higher difference? The 16K one is the higher difference. So what is the max possible difference I can get in the total fare of blue India and violet India? If I go from B to G, the max possible difference I can get is option B, 16,000. If the fare of blue India for going directly from A to E is 10,000, so here instead of 20,000, A to E is directly given as 10,000. So this is 10,000 for us. I'll use red ink so there's no confusion. This also will go away. This is say 10,000 is given. Okay, then we are asked, then which of the following can't be the fare of Blue India going from A to C such that any airport is visited at most once? So I have to consider all the possibilities A to C with this, okay, such that with Blue India, such that each airport is visited at max once. So from A to C, how many paths are there? Again, I have to consider the number of paths. I have to consider the number of outs that are there. One is my direct path, A, B, C. I go to A, but I don't go directly to C. Where can I go? I can go A, B, F, D, C. Okay. Where else can I go? I can go A, B, F, E, C. Any other place I can go from A, B. I can't go anywhere else. I can't go back to A. I don't want to go directly to C. So this is the, it is A to C only, right? Yeah. A, B, C is there, A, B, F, D, C is there, A, B, E, A, B, F, E, C is there. That's the only parts that I can see. So A, B is completely done. Now consider instead of going to A, B, I go to A, E. So from A, E again I have a direct path, A, E, C. Or I can go A, E, F, D, C. Or again I can go A, E, F, B, C. So I have these 6 paths that are possible. If I go to AE, I can go directly to C, I can go to F. From F, I can go to BC or I can do DC. So I have 6 possible paths that are there going from A to C. I have to see what are the costs of each of these paths. If I get the cost of each of these paths, one of the values will not be in the list. That value is not possible. ABC, what is the cost? Here I have to add the red values that are there. 10K plus 5K, this is 15K. ABFDC, 10K plus 5K, 15K plus 10K, so that is 25K plus 5K, 30K. This is there, 30K is the value over here. ABFEC, 10K, 5K, 15K plus 15K, 30K plus 15K, which is 45K. AEC, okay, 10K plus 15K, 25K. AEFDC, 10K, 15K, 25K, 35K, 40K. AEFBC, okay, 10K, 15K, 25K, plus 5K, 30K, plus 5K, 35K. So these are the 6 paths and their corresponding values. Now, which of the options is not there? Is 35,000 there? Yeah. AEFBC is there. So this option is there. Is 40,000 there? Yes. AEFDC is there. This option is there. 25,000, is it there? Yes. AEC is there. This option is there. Is 20,000 there? 15,000 is there. 25,000 is there. 30 is there. 35 is there. 40 is there. 45 is there. But no mention of 20,000. So this is the value which is not possible. This value, there is no path with this value. Okay. So what skill did we use while solving this particular set? One skill we used again and again, which is you have to enumerate the number of paths that are there. A to see how many paths that are there, visually see. A, B, C, A, B, F, D, C, A, B, F, E, C. Just consider all paths that are there. Eventually you will get a list of paths. From that you will get the answer. It is like time consuming, meticulous, but there's not much logic there. A lot of people were asking, ma'am, is this like level, is this difficult set? It's not a difficult set. It is just a time consuming set. You have to be very, very meticulous. You shouldn't miss a path, because if you miss a path, you will not get the answer. So you have to be like okay, yahan se kya ho sakta hai? Yahan se kya ho sakta hai? You have to be very like, count every single case and then you will get the answer. Okay. Will they ask this model questions in original CAT regularly? They ask it once 2-3 years. Every 2-3 years they ask it. It is not, I will say, priority 3 set. Okay. High priority is tables, charts, puzzles and arrangements. Second priority is games and tournaments, scheduling, 2D LR puzzles. That is second priority. Third priority is routes and networks. Routes and networks, team selections, cubes, all of that are third priority. They are much less common, but they are present. They are there. Once every 2-3 years they come. So it's not like that you should completely ignore it, because again I will say that if you actually knew how to solve it, you will think that this is a very easy set. The reason why it is difficult for a lot of people is roots and networks, they never solve. And because you never solve, you find it difficult. But it's actually an easy set. Okay. Anybody has any other question? Okay. Now I want you guys to solve a quant puzzle with me. The quant puzzle, I'll tell you, it's a slightly difficult one, but I think you guys would be more used to that than you are used to this question. Many of you would have solved quant puzzles. Many of you might be good at quant also. And if you get stuck, I want you to know the basic skill. What is the basic skill in quant puzzle? What is required in quant puzzle? Okay. Do you need to be very smart for quant puzzles? No. You need to be very good at maths for quant puzzles? No. The basic skill that is required for quant puzzles is just make cases. And you have to basically consider what is the min value and what is the max value. How many values are possible? So if I say sum of 4 numbers, this is equal to 10. Okay, if I tell you this is equal to 10. And these are all distinct natural numbers. How many cases are there for ABCD? Forget arrangement between ABCD. How many solutions exist for ABCD? Only one solution exists. If you consider distinct natural numbers adding up to 10, the only case is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. This is equal to 10. This is all that is there in quant puzzle. You have to consider that agar 10 diya hai, how many ways can I get to 10? If the difference is there, what is the difference between these numbers? What cases are possible for the difference between these numbers? If you tell me that the sum of the numbers is x, how many ways can I get to x? If I tell you that the sum of these numbers or the product of these numbers is say 100, how many ways can I get to 100? If I tell you the product of a number is say 51, product of two numbers a into b is 51, how many ways can I get to 51? There are cases are 1 into 51, 3 into 17. Any other cases there? No. So we have essentially two possible pairs, 1 into 51 and 3 into 17. That's it. There is no other case that is possible. Now you should think that what values can A take? So if I tell you that A is less than B, then I will say that A is either 1 or A is 3. I will draw two cases, when A is 1, when A is 3. That way you slowly move forward. The quant puzzle itself gives you very indirect clues. No direct clue will be given. But every clue will be like this, where they will say that the sum is equal to 10 and only one case is possible. They will say the product is equal to 51 and only two cases are possible. That is basically how you solve quant puzzles. Every information, try to visualize how many cases are possible. And I'll give you a hint, very few cases are possible. That is basically the solution. That there will be only one way or two way in which way you can get a particular sum. So if I say sum of 6 numbers is equal to 24, very few ways are there for you to reach 24. Then you can actually list down those numbers, list down the cases, and it will become easy for you to solve from that point on. Just remember, this is the only skill that is required in quant puzzle. So with that, I'll give you your quant puzzle. So let's go. Okay, before I give that, a reminder for anybody who is struggling with consistency. So if you are somebody who finds it hard to be consistent, who finds it difficult to make sure that you study every single day, I will tell you one hack which a lot of toppers also told me, that irrespective of how difficult things became, if they are traveling a particular day or if they had unit tests a particular day, the bare minimum that they ensured every single day to do was the daily target. That no matter what happened, they would do the daily target. And that is basically the one thing that topper after topper told us, that every single day, no matter what happens, they made sure that they attempted the daily target of that day. This is the thing that will ensure consistency in your preparation. It will ensure that you do not fall behind, that you do not forget your practice, that you do not actually miss out on important things. Make sure that every single day, without fail, that you do the daily targets. Okay, this is the important habit builder that you should always do. I feel that this should not be a priority. Even if a very good enumeration speed, it will take 12-16 minutes. Given that it has only 4 questions, it should not be a priority. I would say, see, Sarthak, what I will say is that there will be cases. Suppose it's an easy LRDI set. Okay, in that set, you suppose first do the charts. Always in the 5 question sets. This is my advice to you. After seeing so many cats, the first set that you should go for is the charts based set. It is generally the easiest set out of 5. After say the charts based set is done, suppose it takes say 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, okay? After that 15 minutes, now you have to decide which is the next set you can take. Suppose you tackle the arrangements, it takes another 15 minutes, 30 minutes are done, you have done 2 sets as such. Now you're left with 10 minutes and you're not sure which set to do. In that kind of scenario, just go and look at all the sets. Here, the third set that you can do can be roots and networks. Why? Because each question in roots and networks is an individual question. So if 10 minutes are not sufficient for you to do another puzzle set or an arrangement set, it is sufficient for you to do 2 questions of roots and networks. So roots and networks might not be your first choice, might not be your second choice. But when you have that awkward amount of time, 5 minutes and all, here in roots and networks, there is no setup time required. There is no initial instruction decoding time that is required. Each question becomes like an individual question. And when you have 5 minutes or 6 minutes, what can you solve? Roots and networks would be the set that you should solve. So I always say that know how to solve, because having that flexibility to do 2 extra questions will mean that you actually like get 6 extra marks and clear the cutoffs. So always think of it from that way also. Don't leave a topic that don't just leave a topic saying that this won't be my first choice. It might be your third choice, and that third choice will give you 6 extra marks. Okay. Please do tell 10, 12 marks matter. Yeah, every mark matters. In LRDI, the cutoffs are so close because LRDI is like a multimodal distribution. Most of the students, if you consider 50% of the students, get 0 sets. 75% of 75 percentile students get 1 set. So you will have one bump over here at 75 percentile. Then there will be like another say 90 percentile students who get 2 sets. So you'll have another leap over here. Then there will be 99 percentile students who get 3 sets. So you'll have another bump over here. But between this 90 percentile and 99 percentile, there are so many students between 2 to 3 sets. Between this 75 percentile and this 90 percentile, there are so many students. And sometimes you just want 80 percentile. Okay, 75 se just 80 tak jana hai. Those 1-2 questions make a huge difference. So every question matters a lot. Every individual question matters a lot. So you should never leave sets like this. Okay. 10th, 12 board marks, ma'am. Yeah, they matter. But I will tell you, Jayesh, those marks are set. They won't change anymore. So no matter what you do, your 10th standard marks and 12th standard marks are not going to change. So instead of worrying about that right now, worry about your CAT. Because a good CAT score can help you overcome the deficit that is there in your 10th and 12th standard marks. So your academic score that is added to your CAT score. So if this value is less, if your CAT score is higher, it will help you. There are some hard cutoffs that, okay, if you get below 60, you will not get a call. There are some people who do that. Okay, some institutes like Bangalore and Ahmedabad do it. But there are many other institutes where there is no such hard cutoff. Like Calcutta does not care that much for the 10th and 12th marks, does not care that much for undergrad marks also. It gives some weightage, but there is no hard cutoff. So even if you have some 60 in 10th standard or 60 in 12th standard, you will not be it's not that they will remove you from the list. But still converting it will be difficult, and you will have to get a very high score in CAT for you to actually overcome the problem of your 10th and 12th marks. So it is possible to get a very good MBA institute even with poor 10th and 12th marks, but your CAT score has to be exceptional in that case. Okay, so let's go to our quant set. Okay, this is the quant set. It is tricky. You will get stuck. If you get stuck, ask me for a hint. I'm like fully ready to give a hint, because I'll tell you this is not an easy set. Can I get a 98 percentile if I start now? Absolutely, you can get 99.9 percentile also. But you have to study regularly. You have to give 3 hours every single day. No matter what happens, you have to give 3 hours every single day. Okay? Okay. Yes, Ashi, it is possible to get a good score in LRDI if you start today. But let's think of it in this way. What should you have to do for you to get, like, say, 99 percentile? You have to do 2 RCs every single day, 1 LRDI set every single day, 10 questions from quant every single day. That is the bare minimum. If you do that regularly, day after day, you will get to 98 percentile. It is not difficult. It's just a question of consistency and practice. The number of questions you solve will determine your CAT score. If you solve very few questions, you will get a poor score. If you solve a lot of questions, you will get a much higher score. 3 hours total, not 3 hours for LRDI, 3 hours total. Okay, so this is the set. Guys, try it. I'll give hints in this set. Okay, I am telling you I'll give hints, but I want everyone to try it. The questions that are there are this. This is 14th question. This is 15th question. And this is the 16th question. Samir, I'll answer your question. 1 second. I'm just showing the whole set that is there. And I'll start the timer now. You have 12 whole minutes. I want everyone to attempt the set. Come on, guys. Okay, let me see. Ma'am, you said earlier you will choose, we will use 20K in just question number 2. Then why did you use 20K in the next question? Because even there, the same condition was mentioned, that the gap is 9,000. So the same condition was repeated. So the result will also be the same, right? It will be 20,000 again. So they repeated a part of question 2 in question 3 also. So question 2, question 3 had the same setup. Question 4 had a different setup where they said that A is 10,000. So that was a different question. B, the second and third question were the same, same setup question. So there again, I used 20,000. Minimum marks to get 99 percentile overall and sectional cutoff. Cannot say. I'll tell you, historically, 72 marks have been enough for 99 percentile. And this year, I think it would have been 100 plus. So anywhere between 70 to 100, it can vary depending on the difficulty of the section. So in 2024, CAT 2024 was very easy. So the 99 percentile mark was 100 plus, 98 or 100 or something like that it was. CAT 2025 was again harder, so it went slightly down. So I think it went to near like 80s, 88, 90 or so. And CAT 2023 was very difficult, like the worst year possible. There, the 99 percentile mark was around 72. So the marks that are required change quite a bit. It depends entirely on the difficulty of the slot. It changes section wise, it changes overall. So nobody can tell you how much marks would mean 99 percentile. What I will say is that don't go with like a target for marks. You have to respond to the paper that is in front of you. If it is a difficult paper, know your attempt rate is going to go down and you should be okay with it. You shouldn't say that, nay, I have to get 15 marks, I have to get 30 marks. It will not be like that. If your paper is tougher, the number of marks that you are required to score will also go down. If the paper is easier, the number of marks that you can score will go up and everybody will score more, so you also have to score more. Okay, so don't fixate on a number. That's a bad strategy to have. You have to respond to the difficulty that is there in front of you. Will this lecture be accessible always on YouTube? Absolutely. We'll not take this down. You can solve this any other time. You can see the solution any other time. We'll also put up a PDF of the question so you can download the PDF and solve it again. Can I show the question from the start? You guys can pause the video and see from the very start also if you want. Wherever you want to read, just pause the video at that place. Okay. Ashi, if I'll tell you, if you're good at both quant and verbal, okay, quant, verbal, both are sorted, 2 hours is enough. If one of them is poor, 3 hours is enough. If both of them are bad, 4 hours is required. So if quant and verbal both are bad, do 4 hours every single day. If one of them is good and the other is bad, you'll need 3 hours every single day. If both of them are fairly good, 2 hours every single day is also okay. If you have a consistent reading habit, your English is good, your comprehension skills are good, your quantitative ability is also good. You can solve, like, say, out of the 22 questions in any mock, if you're able to solve 7, 8 already, then you need 2 hours every single day. That's the only thing that you need. If you're weak in any section, 1 extra hour is added. That's all that you have to keep in mind. Okay, all the questions. Okay, I'll go back to the questions. This is 16, this is 15, this is 14, and this is the first question. Thanks, Ayush, for this. Thank you. And I'm very glad that you got 99.55 percentile in LRDI. Keep working hard. I'm sure that anybody who works hard, these are lectures. We are basically teaching for free every Saturday on YouTube. We do these LRDI marathons, quant marathons. Make sure that you attend at least the free lecture so that you know at least the basics are there. Some basics, some questions will be done. So if you guys are looking to really crack CAT, do take a look at our course which is starting on Monday. But at the very least, bare minimum that I expect all students to do is that you should at least come to the Saturday lecture. Me and Maruti both teach every Saturday for like 2-3 hours at least, and that is very very good practice, because every Saturday you will have this habit of like making sure some amount of quant work is done, some amount of LRDI work is done. So you will eventually, by November, you will have your basics sorted. You will have a lot of practice questions also done. So it's like the least that I expect the students to do. Rich, try to answer the question again. You've gotten the wrong answer. Same with Anumotu. Vijendra Gupta, try it again. Okay, Satvik, I'll answer. Satvik, I'm not able to find your question. Can you please ask it again? It's possible to get 95 percentile. It's neither easy nor difficult. You need consistency. The issue is not that you have to like work 8 hours, 10 hours. You have to work 3 hours every single day. But the minute I say 3 hours every single day, the number of people who will do it for the first 3-4 days is very high. From the 5th day onwards, people start make excuses. So it's not difficult. Just need to be very like sincere in your work. That's all that is needed. Very good work, Vedavardhan. VRC Arash, even I like it very much, and it is like so addictive also. Like you just want to keep doing more and more questions, and your accuracy will just keep on increasing with that. Samir, we take lectures on Saturdays, not Sundays. Sundays we might take lectures when it comes closer to CAT. So closer to CAT, we have these longer marathons where we do full marathon of like a topic, like arithmetic marathon, algebra marathon. Again, then also we prefer to take it on Saturday rather than Sunday, but we'll try to do it on Sunday also. Depends on the situation, how much work we have to do, because we are consistently doing from Saturday now itself. So I don't know whether we'll have to do it on Sunday again, but we'll try. Mostly we'll have these very long marathons on Saturday. In 5 months, getting 95 percentile is easy or tough? It is easy. I answered that already. Just be consistent. You can get 95 percentile with consistent work. Come on, guys, try to solve this one. Do you guys need a clue? Do you guys need a hint? Okay, yes, okay. How can we assume that the number of columns is 6? Number of columns is not 6. Okay, scroll down the set. Okay. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Okay. The hint is that consider, so you have 5 rows, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? This is A, B, C, D, E. Consider for the B bench that the sum of roll numbers is 93. What is the sum of roll numbers of consecutive numbers? It's a arithmetic progression. It will be n by 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d. D here will be 1 because it is a arithmetic progression with difference 1. So this is equal to 93. This is clue number 1 that I am giving you. The second clue is that the difference of the leftmost digit is 152 and of the rightmost digit is 162. Okay? If say there are A numbers over here, B numbers over here, C numbers over here, D numbers over here, E numbers over here, I'll just put this over here. What is the first number? It will be some number, okay? What is the difference between this number and this number? Say this is x, this will be x plus 1, this is x plus 2, and so on. This will be x plus a minus 1. Why x plus a minus 1? Because there are a total of a digits over here. So that would be basically this minus this plus 1, okay? So if there are a digits, this is the digits that are there. Here it will be say y plus 1, y plus 2. This will be y plus b minus 1. So over here, the difference that will be there between the leftmost sum and the rightmost sum will be what? Leftmost sum will be some value. Rightmost sum will be that value plus a minus 1 plus b minus 1 plus c minus 1 plus d minus 1 plus e minus 1. Okay. With that, what will you get? The sum a plus minus 1 plus b minus 1, c minus 1 plus d minus 1 plus e minus 1. This will be equal to how much? The difference between this and this. Okay. I've given you two big clues. One is this. One is what is this difference? How does it relate to these variables? These are the two clues that I've given. Now try to please solve this set. I'll give you 2 extra minutes, okay? There's only 30 seconds left. I'll give you 2 extra minutes. Try to solve the set. SSE 9.8 CGPA plus 2. Okay. UG 7.8, 2 years work experience, male engineer. How much I need to score to get good IMs? Not only Blackie. I would say if you are just not fixated on Blackie, given that you are, I'm assuming general engineer male, I would say with your scores, I think anything above 95, you will get a lot of calls. If you consider 98, you will get MDI Gurgaon. You will get many calls by, if you consider like non-Blackie, anything above 98, you will get a lot of calls. You will get JAP calls, you will get CAP calls. So I would say that 98 percentile plus would be enough for any of those calls. 99.7 percentile will be required for like Blackie calls. So if you are not considering Blackie, anything above 98 would be okay. Time is up, but I'm giving you 1 extra minute, guys. 1-2 extra minutes. Try to solve the set. I've given you 2 clues. Try to use those clues to get to the set. Adi is asking 989 EWS GEM, what percentile to score for ABC? With you have no weakness in your academic profile. With EWS 99.65 plus, you will get ABC calls. But safe would be 99.7 plus because then you will convert also. 99.7 plus, 99.75 plus, you will convert also. So try to get 99.7 plus. 775, yes, you have slightly weak academic profile. If you're a general engineer male, you have to really work hard. Depending on your category, depending whether you're engineer or non-engineer, it would change the cutoff. If it is general engineer male, it would be 99.9 plus actually. 99.8 plus, 99.9 plus. If you're general non-engineer male, it would be 99.7 plus. If you are not general, again, it would make a huge difference. So depending on that, I would say that you have to really work hard now. because your academic profile is not doing you any favors. If you have work experience, it will like say you can reduce the percentile required by like 0.1 percentile. So if it is 99.9 plus required with 3 years of work experience, you can possibly get calls even at 99.7. Okay, but essentially you have to really hit 99.7 plus to get good calls. Okay, so people are answering. Shubhang, correct. EWS and journal has difference in cutoff. It has a considerable difference in cutoff. So journal is 99.9 plus, 99.8 plus. EWS is 99.6 plus, 99.7 plus. So there's a big difference between both of them. And conversion is also much easier for this. EWS non-engineer would be 99.5 plus, 99.6 plus. Non-engineer, I have seen ABC calls come at 99.6 for non-engineer EWS. But your academic profile is weak, so you have to put more fight. Okay, for all these profile queries, I will say that go to our profile evaluator. There you can put in all the information that you have, and it will generate what best calls you can get at what percentile. So go to our Cracku profile evaluator. I'll show the slide after this. So there you can put what is your specific profile, what is your specific category, and it will tell you exactly what you have to, how much you have to percentile you have to score to get which calls. So let's get started. Okay, what did you guys feel about this set? Did you feel that this was easy, this was difficult, tricky? If I explain this set to you, you will feel that it is not a difficult set because like बहुत आसानी से बहुत जल्दी solve हो जाएगा. But it is tricky because you don't know how to get started. Many of these LRDI sets are like that. कि चालू कहाँ से करें? How do I move forward? I don't even know where I can get started. So it's something like this. But once you get started, it's not difficult. So let's see the information that is given. A class in a school has 5 benches A, B, C, D, E such that the number of students sitting in each row was a distinct natural number. So I'll say this is bench A, bench B, bench C, bench D, bench E, and this is the number of people sitting in it. Each of these is a distinct natural number. A, B, C, D, E are distinct natural numbers. Okay. Teacher once decided to assign roll numbers to all the students such that the numbers are consecutive. He started by randomly selecting a row of bench and started numbering the students from west end of the row to the east end. So this is west end to east end. Okay. Starting with a natural number which is not necessarily 1. So some random natural number he started and he continues one after the other after that. After numbering the eastmost seating student in that row, the teacher would again randomly select a row and start numbering from the west end to east end such that the westmost sitting student in the new row had a roll number succeeding the eastmost sitting student in the previously numbered row of students. So if I end here at say 6, I will start the next row with 7, and it need not be this row. It can be any random row, but it will start with the next number, which is 7. Okay, this is the information that is there. In the same pattern, the teacher assigned a roll number. In the same pattern, the teacher assigned a roll number to all the students. Further, the following information is known. The sum of the roll numbers of students on bench B is 93, and the number of students on adjacent benches were not consecutive numbers. So A, B, C, D, E. A will not be consecutive to B, B will not be consecutive to A and C, C will not be consecutive to B and D, D will not be consecutive to C and E, C will not be consecutive to B and D. So basically they have to be in such a order that they are not consecutive numbers. Okay. And the number of people on bench B, the sum of the students on bench B is 93. Okay. This is important information. So suppose bench B, how many students are there on bench B? There are B number of students, okay? B number of students. So we'll say B number of students, B by 2. Let the first student's value be say Y. So this is Y plus 1, and so on. This is Y plus B minus 1. What is the sum of these values? Because it's an arithmetic progression with a common difference on, I can say this is B divided by 2, first term plus last term. Okay, so this is 2Y plus B minus 1. So this is 2Y plus B minus 1. This is given as 93. Okay, but what is 93? 93 is the product of two integers. B by 2 will be some natural number. This will also be a natural number. Y has to be a natural number. B has to be a natural number. So this is a natural number into some value as such. So we are going to get this is 93. So it has to be a product of natural numbers in some way, some product of natural numbers. But let us first try to figure out how can I get a product of 93. So one way I can get 93 is 1 into 93. Another way I can get 93 is 3 into 31. Is there any other pair such that the product is 93? No. Can I get where I get 6 by 2 into like I have 62 here and this is 3 by 2? That is possible, but it is unlikely because this has to be like b by 2 into this. I have to basically get 93 over here. It is possible if I have this is 3 by 2 where b is 3 essentially and this is 62 and no, again over here this whole thing has to be 3. I can get a fraction on one side such that the other side is a multiple of 2. But here none of these is multiple of 2. This is neither this part will be a multiple of 2. If this is part, this becomes odd and this also becomes odd. So it will not happen that a 2 is being cancelled out. So I have to consider such that I have the product of two odd numbers because the product itself is odd. Okay. So if that is the case, these are the two values I have to consider. 1 into 93, 3 into 31. Okay. Now let us consider, okay, if b by 2 is equal to 1. Okay. Or I can say that this, I'll say, let us actually make it more. This, okay, this is 186. Okay. This will be 1 into 186, 2 into 93, 3 into 3 into what? 3 into 62, 4, no, 4 is not there. And is there any other? 6 into, this would be divided 6 into 31. These are the possible pairs where that the product is basically equal to 93. Okay. Now we have to find what are the possible values for B such that this product is 186. Consider the situation that B is equal to 1. If B is equal to 1, what do I get? The number of people that are there is say equal to 1. What will I get the sum of the numbers to be? This would mean that 2y plus b minus 1. So this will become 0. So 2y will be equal to 186. So 2y equal to 186 means y will be equal to 93. That means there will be only one number which is 93. Consider if b is equal to 2. In that case, 2y plus b minus 1. So plus 1 is equal to how much? This is equal to 93. So I will get 2y is equal to 92, 2y, y is equal to 46. This is one more case that I get. Suppose b is equal to 3. Okay, over here 2y plus 2 will be equal to how much? This will be equal to 62. Or 2y is equal to 30. 2y is equal to 60, y is equal to 30. Okay, this is one more case that I get. What other possible cases do I get? B is equal to 6. I get 2y plus 5 is equal to 31, or 2y is equal to 26, or y is equal to 13. Okay. These are the possibilities I am getting. Okay, y is equal to 13. There are 6 numbers that are there. Y is equal to 46 if there are 2 numbers, so it will be 46, 47. 46, 47, 93 I'll get. If I have y is equal to 93, b is equal to 1, there is only one number that is 93. 2 numbers, 46, 47 is there. 3 numbers I have 30, 31 and 33 that is there. If there are 6 numbers, I'll have 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17, 18. Those will be the multiple 6 numbers that are there. So I have 4 cases that are there. Can b equal to 31? Can the number of terms be equal to 31? Say if b is equal to 31. What will happen over here? This value has to be equal to how much? It has to be equal to 6. So 2y plus 31 minus 1 plus 30. This has to be equal to 6. So 2y will be minus 24. Y will be minus 12. I'll get negative values, but y is a natural number. It cannot take negative values. So if I consider these values for B, I'll start getting negative numbers, which is not possible. So these are the only cases such that the sum of the roll numbers on bench B, that it will become equal to 93. So these are the possible cases. One is that B is equal to 1, there's only one number 93. B is equal to 2, there's two people 46, 47. Now B is equal to 3, there are three cases 30, 31, 32, and B is equal to 6, 13 to 18 are the numbers. These are the four cases that I am getting for the value of B. Now consider the other values that are there. What other information is given? So I have possible four values for B, 1, 2, 3 and 6, and correspondingly there are different values that I get for the roll numbers that will be there. Okay, I have considered this. I have considered all the cases that are there over there. I have considered sum of all the roll numbers is this, and number of students on adjacent benches were not consecutive numbers. So A and C will not be consecutive to B, and neither of the benches will it be consecutive. Okay, now let us consider the second clue. The sum of roll numbers of westmost sitting students on all the benches is 152. This X plus Y plus Z plus like A plus B, this is equal to 152. The sum of all the numbers, roll numbers of the students on the eastmost benches for all the students, all the benches is 162. Okay, so this sum over here of the eastmost numbers, that is equal to 162. What is the difference if I consider, let this be, but what is the difference for bench A between the eastmost student and the westmost student? What is the difference in roll numbers? It would be X plus A minus 1 minus X, so that would be A minus 1. This would be the difference between the eastmost student and the westmost student for the first bench. Consider for the second bench, it would be B minus 1. For the third bench, it would be C minus 1. For the fourth bench, it would be D minus 1. For the fifth bench, it would be E minus 1. This is equal to 10. So how much am I getting? What is A plus B plus C plus D plus E? How much is this equal to? This is, I take all the minus ones to that side. This is equal to 15. In how many ways can I get the sum of 5 distinct natural numbers to be equal to 15? That's what we have been told, right? The number of students on each bench, okay? Number of students, there were 5 benches such that the number of students sitting on each row was a distinct natural number. A, B, C, D, E are distinct natural numbers. In how many ways can I get distinct natural numbers like this? How many ways can I get? Only one way. One of these has to be 1, one of these has to be 2, one of these has to be 3, other has to be 4, other has to be 5. This is the only way I can get distinct natural numbers to add up to 15. Did everybody understand this? Did everybody understand this one? Was everybody able to understand how I got 10? How did I get 10? Rightmost number is 162, leftmost number is 152. So sum of rightmost numbers minus sum of leftmost numbers, that is 162 minus 152, that is 10. So I take row wise what is the difference between rightmost number, leftmost number. Row wise it is A minus 1 plus B minus 1 plus C minus 1 plus D minus 1 plus E minus 1. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E has to be equal to 15. So A, B, C, D has to be in some way it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So from here I can directly remove the case where B is equal to 6, because it is not possible for B equal to 6, because A, B, C, D has to be somewhere between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have these 3 cases, 1, 2, 3. Among these cases I have to consider what are the possible values such that this sum is basically B can be either 1, it can be 2 or 3. Let us consider, okay. So A, B, C, D are in some values 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. That is the only way where the gap is only of 10. This gap between them is only of 10, and that can only exist if these values A, B, C, D are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is the total number of students that are there? I can directly say A plus B plus C plus D plus E is 15. Even if you didn't get the whole question, this part could have been solved without getting the whole question. How many students are there in the class? There are a total of 15 students in the class. Okay. Now we have three cases. B is equal to 1, in which case you have, there is only one number, that is 93 over here. B is equal to 2. Then you have what case? You have 46 and 47 over here. Okay. 46, 47 over here. And B is equal to 3, in which case you have, this is 30, 31 and 32 over here. These are the three cases that are there for the number of students or roll number of students that are there on B. What other information is given? The roll number of the student assigned the eastmost number sitting on bench A is 25. Just remove this. Okay, this is 25. So x minus A plus 1 is 25. So x minus A is equal to how much? It is equal to 24. So x will be basically 25 minus A plus 1. No, 24 plus A. This will be something like, 24 minus A. Okay. Plus A, no. No. 26, no. What would it be? If I were to say 1, 2, if there are 5 numbers, it would be, 25 minus A plus 1. So 26 minus A. Okay. This would be the number of numbers that are there. Okay. Now let us consider. This is equal to 25. If 25 students are there, can I reach 93? And there are 15 students in total. A plus B plus C plus D plus E is 15. Can I reach 93? Is it possible for me to reach 93? Given that all the roll numbers eventually will be sequential. So if I end here at 25, somewhere I'm going to start at 26, somewhere I'm going to start at 36 or whatever. The max I can possibly end, even if this is 25 is the only person here, okay? I can max have 14 more people. The max value I can reach is 25 plus 14, which is 39. That's the highest I can possibly reach because there are only 15 people in the class. So even if 25 roll number is the least value, the max value that I can reach for roll numbers is 39 plus 14 more people. That's 39 is the last possible roll number. So is 93 possible? No. Is 46, 47 possible? No. I can max have people only up to 39. So both of these cases are gone. B is equal to 3. The 3 people on bench B is 30, 31, 32. These are the only cases possible. If this is 25, 93 is unreachable, 46, 47 is unreachable, given that there are 15 students. So the only case is this is 25, this is 30, this is 31, this is 32. Okay, fine. Now all of this is fine, okay? All of these cases are gone. I have like, this is 30, this is 3, okay? Now if this is 3, this 3 is gone. So I have A can be 1, I can have 2, 4, 5 somewhere. 1, 2, 4, 5 is ACD in some particular order. Can A be 4? Not possible because it cannot be an adjacent number. C also cannot be 4. A cannot be 2. C also cannot be 2. So A essentially can be either 1 or 5. These are the two possibilities that are there. It can be either 1 or 5. Consider that it is 5, okay? If it is 5, you will have, this is equal to how much? This is 5. This will be 21, 22, okay, till 23, 24, 25, okay? In that case, what would be the last number that I have? Okay, 5 is over here, plus, if I have plus 14, I will have up to 34 that is there. Okay, possible, that is possible. If it is only one number, that would mean that there is 25 only over here. Nobody else, if this is 1, it means this is only 1, 25 is the only number that is there. Okay, that is also possible. So let me consider in what ways I can get 152, in what ways I can get 162 that is there. Okay, here 32 is the last number, this is 25. So 25 plus 32 plus some numbers is equal to 162. Okay, now this is how much? This is 57 plus some numbers is equal to 162. What values do I get over here? This is equal to 162 minus 52. This is minus 57. This is 105. So the sum of the last numbers over here has to be 105 in some way. Again over here, from 25 to 30, what are the missing numbers that are there? 25 to 30, I am missing 26, 27, 28, 29. 4 numbers are missing. I have 1 there, 2 there, 4 which is there, and 5 which is there. Okay. So suppose if the row that is between like this row and this row, suppose there is one value taken off. Okay. Suppose only one value is taken off, 26 is taken off. 26 is gone. 27, 28, 29 are remaining. I take say 2 more from here. Only 29 is remaining. That would be odd. I have to basically fit it these 4 numbers in such a way that all of them are either in one bench, or they are distributed over 2 benches, or they are distributed over 3 benches. But I cannot have just these 4 distributed over 2 benches. The 2 values 1 plus 2 together can take 3 numbers. It cannot take 4 numbers, which means that the only possible way in which I can get these 4 to fit in some other rows is if all of these 4s go in some particular row. So there has to be one bench where 26, 27, 28, 29 has to completely go in that particular row. So there will be one row, not this row, not this row, one among D and E, which will be 4, which will be 26, 27, 28, 29. Which means that the last number again will be how much? It would be 29 of one particular row. It would be 29. Again, I need for 3 benches, say let's say X plus Y plus Z. There are 3 benches where the rightmost values have to add up to 105. One of those values is 29. Say one of these values, Z is 29. So X plus Y will be 105 minus 29. How much is this? This is 76. 76. How do I get to 76? I am only at 32 max right now. How do I get to 76 after 32? If I get, this is like say 5, this is 21 to 25. If this is 5, there is another one which is say not here, say this is 4, and this is 26 to 29. How do I get to 76 in the other 2 values? It is impossible because I have 1 and 2 which is left. If I have even say 2 over here, this will be 33, 34, and 1 over here, this will be 35. 35 plus 34 is 69 max. I have to get to 76, which means that I cannot put 5 over here. I have to put very little value over here because I want to push the last value as high as possible because I have to get to 76. 76 is a large number, which means that this cannot be 1 because if I put all of my numbers over here, I'll reduce the ending values that are needed and I cannot reach 162 which is needed over here, which means that this has to be 1. This I don't know what the other values are, whether it is here or whether it is in any other row. I don't know for sure, but I know if I put 5 over here, I'm never reaching 162. It is impossible for me to reach 162. So I cannot put 5 over here. I cannot put 2 and 4 also over here because they are consecutive to 3. So the only value that I can possibly put is 1, which means bench number A has only one number, which is 25. So this is 25, this is 32. There is one either D or E which has 29 as the last number, and the other values have to add up to 76, sorry. So somewhere I have 26, 27, 28, 29 that has been put. So I have 25 to 29 that is there. What is the max value I can reach? Max value, I say that 25 say I start. That is the max I can possibly put. I can possibly start earlier also. I can possibly have one row which is slightly earlier than 25. But let's consider what is the max value I can reach. If I start from 25, I have one row where 4 people are there, 26 to 29. These 4 are there either in D and E. Then I have 30, 31, 32. This is in B. Okay, this is the max. This is in B. This is either in D or E. What is the other values that are there? 3 is done, 4 is done, 1 is done, 2 and 5 are there. So let's say 33 and 34 are there in say 2, and 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 are there. This is 5. What are the ending values in this case? This is 34 plus 39. How much does that add up to? That adds up to only 73. I need to reach 76. So if I put 2 over here, 5 over here, I'm not reaching 76. So what is the other thing I should do? I should put 5 over here and 2 over here. So I'll say 33, 34, 35, 36 and 37 over here. This is the last value that I get, and 38, 39 over here. 39 plus 37, how much do I get? Finally, I get 76. Finally, I get 76, which I need. So 39 plus 37 plus 32 plus 29 plus 25. This is the only case that will add up to 162. There is no other scenario that will add up to 162. If I go below 25, I will never reach 162. The only way I reach 162 if I have 25 and 32 is that if the other numbers are 29, 37, 39. That is the only way I reach to 162. Which means that in some order, I have to put 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. This is already put in the table. In some order, I have to put 33, 34, 35, 36, 37 and 38 and 39. Now, where can I put? Can 2 be over here? No. Can 2 be over here? Yes. Can 2 be over here? Yes. So 2 can be over here, 4 can be over here. Okay. So basically, this can be 2 or 4. This can be 4 or 2. Which value can come over here? This is 1. This is 3. Neither 2 nor 4 can come over here because they'll be consecutive to 3. Which means that only one value that can come over here is 5. The minute 5 comes over here, 4 cannot be here. This has to be 2, which means this has to be 4. Now, I know exactly how many elements are there. What is the row which has 5 elements? This row. 33 to 37 is the row which has 5 elements. So this, I can say 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. I finally get what is there in C. Which row has 2 elements? This 38, 39. This one is the last roll number 39. This is the one which has 2 elements. And which one has 4? This one, 26, 27, 28, 29. This is the only one which is remaining. So now I know exactly how he started numbering. He picked A first, gave only one student sitting in row number 1. That's the only student. This 25 is there even on the rightmost corner addition. This 25 is there even in the leftmost corner addition. So here this is contributing 0 to the difference. Here we have after 21, here is 26, 27, 28, 29. This is contributing 3 to the difference. Now you have after 29, you have 31, 30, 31, 32. This is contributing 2 to the difference. Then you have 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. This is contributing 4 to the difference. And here you have 38 and 39. This is contributing 1 to the difference. Total of 0 plus 3 plus 1 plus 4 plus 2. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to how much? A difference of 10. This is basically how I get the only possible configuration. This is the order in which the roll numbers are there. Anybody who didn't follow, any part that you didn't follow, just let me know. Okay. Was able to solve some parts of it. Okay. I know I was just this wondering of what can come over here. But we don't need it also because it's like not necessary, but just thinking clearly what can be the lowest value, what can be the highest value given that it is 8. Okay. Did any of you not understand what was any part of this solution? Just let me know. I'll try to tell that again. Hi, Krishan. Good afternoon. Okay, guys, just let me know. I will continue with the solving. If anybody didn't understand any part of it, just let me know. I will go through that part again. But the first question that we have is, how many students are there in the class? We could answer this before we got any of the solutions. But I did not make cases and intuitively went for 31, 32, 33. Because there were 3 cases. Basically, when you say that the sum is adding up to 93, how many ways can 3 numbers add up to 93? One is that it is 93 itself. Other is it is 30, 31, 32. That is one case. Other is it is 46, 47. If there are 2 numbers adding up to 93, it is 46, 47. No, even that is possible. The only reason why you would have intuitively removed all of that is if you realize that from 25 going to 93 is impossible. That is possible. But from 25 going to 46 and 47 is possible. If there are like 40 people in the class, it is going to happen. So you should not have directly eliminated that case. Similarly, 13 is also possible in certain cases. So always with enumeration cases, I would say that think of all the scenarios. Don't intuitively remove some cases, because many of these times, no, they have like multiple scenarios possible. And if you don't consider a scenario, you might end up like, it might end up costing you a lot. Okay, so don't eliminate cases without considering them. Consider them, cancel them out, because that way you're sure that it did not come. Okay. Like even that, couldn't we have proceeded? No, we couldn't have, because there are multiple cases. From 25 going to 46 and 47 was possible if the number of people were enough. If there were 40 people in the class, it could have happened. But because once we realized there are only 15 people in the class, then everything else became much easier to solve. Okay? Okay. Anybody else who has any question? Okay, so how many students are there in the class? We could find it very early on. There are only 15 students in the class. What is the sum of the roll number of all the students in bench E? So the sum is 26 plus 27 plus 28 plus 29. This is 55 plus 55. It is equal to 110. Generally, when you have to quickly find the sum rate, what I do is I add pairs. So 27 plus 28 is 55, 26 plus 29 is 55, 2 pairs of 55 adds up to 110. What is the sum of the roll number of the westmost and the eastmost seating student in bench C? So leftmost is 33, eastmost is 37, so sum is equal to 70. So correct answer is option A. The last question, what is the average roll number per student in the class? Average roll number, it starts from 25. And what is the last roll number that is there? 39. So what is the average? 25 to 39. The average will be 25 plus 39 divided by 2. So that is how much? That is 64 divided by 2. The average is 32. Okay. So like this is the last set of the day. If you guys were able to solve it, very good. If you guys were not able to solve it also, remember in quant puzzles generally, you have to just enumerate cases. Is this possible? हो सकता है क्या? Write it out. 20 to 25, is it possible? If it is 20 to 25, can I reach 162? No. Then you eliminate the case. Move forward. In many of these, you have to do a lot of like brute force. You have to just consider cases till you eliminate the cases. Some people might say intuitively go forward, consider only one case. But many times multiple scenarios are possible. Don't eliminate cases without considering them. Especially look at the questions also one. If the questions have cannot be determined, then you should be careful. If the questions don't have cannot be determined, then you can go ahead with what you did, Shubham. Because if the questions don't have cannot be determined, it means that there is only one solution possible. Okay. How many marks required for IMs? So it depends on the difficulty of the year, but I would say that the best way to figure out what are your like percentile that is required is that if you go to Cracku's CAT profile evaluator, so just search for Cracku CAT profile evaluator, put in your profile. So you have to put in how much you have in 10th standard, in 12th standard, in undergrad. What is your undergrad stream? Because it depends on whether you're an engineer versus a non-engineer. Non-engineers have a small advantage. You have to select, okay, what was your number of months of work experience. All those things you have to consider, and based on that, you will get a AI summary of what is a safe score for you to target for different kinds of colleges. So if you want Blackie colleges, what kind of percentile you require? If you want other colleges, what kind of percentile you require? So this is basically our profile evaluator. It will evaluate your profile. We also have a call predictor, which will predict which calls you can get at what percentile. So consider both of them. You can then figure out, okay, I need this much percentile to get like say ABC calls, or I need this much percentile for me to get FMS or MDI Gurgaon calls. So depending on what you are aiming at, it will give you a very good idea of what kind of CAT percentile you'll need. So do check that out. So, okay, thank you guys. Thank you. And this was the last session, this of the day. Are ACATs considered in XLR and could be able to solve 12 to 14 questions correctly in DM without any preparation? How should the preparation strategy be? So are ACATs considered? Yes, ACATs are also part of the equation. If you are able to do 12 to 14 questions without preparation, I would say that you have a fairly good intuitive sense of what to answer in the DM section. The correct way to prepare for DM is that we have to consider the different types of sets that come in DM. So we have like considered like, okay, this is HR, this is organizational behavior, this is personal, this is ethical dilemma. And we have basically we teach you in our ZAT course, we teach you the right framework to apply for each type of ZAT set that is there. Again, all of this is basically preparation that you have to do specifically for DN. You have to consider what the paper setter is looking for. So looking at the previous year's DM sets, looking at the correct answer for that, you get some sense of the framework that they are applying, some sense of how they are balancing between two situations. What kind of ethical values do they consider? What kind of, what is like the right thing to do, not the right thing to do? What is legal, ethical, all of those considerations you have to take before you mark the right answer. Right now, if you're already getting 12 to 14, you have a fairly good sense. I would say that just make sure that you cover all the different types of DM sets that are there, and also go through the frameworks a couple of times so that you don't make mistakes in the remaining type of DM sets. Okay. Okay. Dheeraj 777, after BTech 5-year career gap with work experience, without work experience, which one is best right now, ma'am? Trying for IT job or MS abroad or MBA India, ST candidate? I would say, Dheeraj, if you can get a job, get a job so that you can prepare for your CAT exam with a job. It is always better to actually crack CAT along with preparation, along with working, because CAT is only one part of the journey. The next part after that is interviews. And in interviews, if you have a job in hand, they are going to look at you much more favorably than if you have no job in hand. You can get a job after the CAT exam, but I would say that preferably try to get a job before the CAT exam. If the job does not take more than, like, say 10 hours, 12 hours a day, it gives you enough time to prepare for the exam. You should definitely consider having this job along with your CAT preparation. Going in for CAT without a job in hand generally just adds more stress, more anxiety, which is not good for you. So always go first, get a job, prepare for CAT along with it, and try to CAT 2026. If you have a job in hand, converting the interviews will also become much easier. Okay, so that is all for today, guys. We'll be ending the session over here. And for all the other profile queries that you guys have, please go to the CAT profile evaluator, because it can tell you at a much more granular level what percentile you need for what type of college. So do check out our CAT profile evaluator. So thank you guys, and see you guys next time.